I didn't know we were doing an intro.
You know, if ever that song felt appropriate.
I'm just okay. I'm working on different devices than normal because I'm in a hotel. I'm not seeing that we're live on YouTube. It's stressing me. Okay, we're live. Goddamn.
Freaking the fuck out.
Okay, couple things. Bit of house cleaning. Got to New York. Got off the plane. Got in the cab. Got out of the cab. Left my phone in the cab. Panicked. Bought a new phone. Cab driver calls me. I have your phone. So next day, gave my phone back. So
you got two phones now.
I think I'm going to sell the new phone. I don't know. Anyway, stressful, weird. I feel stupid. I hate that shit.
It's a bad omen.
And it's like lasting now. And like what I feel today is what I felt that whole first night in town, and just kind of fucked the trip up a little bit. And so I get back from the Majority Report live show last night, which we can talk about if you want. And, you know, I was like, there was no call when the show ended. So everyone went home like, good luck. and I went home going, I think a lot of us were like, I don't know. But then I turn on, I was like, okay, who's on YouTube, right? And I was pretty tired. So I was going to go to bed and just kind of like have YouTube on. And I see you guys are on there. Or I think it was just you, and then Andrea came on. And I immediately fell asleep when Andrea came. No, I'm just kidding. I did start. That's where I started to doze, though. So I woke up again. And I could hear Sandy. And I was like, oh, my friends are doing the show. This is great. And I look over. You know, the iPad's on the bed. And I look over, and she has a shotgun. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That was my favorite part, man.
I got really concerned, and I was like, are they talking her down?
It's the perfect time to look. I'm glad that happened. When she brought it, and then she like put it under her desk, but like for us we can't see the depth, so it was probably like, you know, in front of her pointing upward, right? But for us it was like, whoa.
Oh, and then I looked at the clock and I was like, holy shit, what time is this? What is going on? It just felt so surreal. And
was
so
it
then
like 4 a.m. or some shit that we were doing?
Yeah, but you went till like 5, right?
Oh yeah.
I did like fucking 15 hours of streaming, and I'm still, I don't know which one happened and where. Poor Sandy.
Yeah, okay. I'm in Brooklyn. Today I got the results from what you guys were talking about, and I was like, well, okay, that's all I need to know. And so today I was like, I was on Twitter like occasionally, because in New York you stop before you cross the street, and you generally have to wait a minute to 3 minutes. It's plenty of
And
time
you
to
know, you
just
can't just observe and see
Yeah.
the beautiful world and landscape of this wonderful city, a city that has been the central point of, you know,
well,
human organization for hundreds of years. You're thinking, oh, let me look at Twitter.
just at the crosswalks where you have to stop for traffic.
Okay, I understand.
I walked 36 blocks in one direction from Park Slope to Red Hook, and then back all the way up to Flatbush, which I think is like 50 blocks, and then back to Park Slope. So like,
You were
There's
just
a lot of-
walking for entertainment, or
yeah, well, I just didn't want to be inside, and I didn't want to be looking at YouTube and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And so what I was thinking was, well, what's everyone talking about? Right? And this was confirmed later because at dinner, I was at a bar next door at dinner by myself. I actually talking to a guy. I happened to sit down next to a progressive. And so we were talking. But yeah, I was looking at Twitter, and people were saying this country did not make a right-wing shift as far as voting. It just turned out that way. And I was like, well, but here we are. And
Yeah.
so this is what I was thinking all day today was like, people are going to be making the argument probably that we're not actually right-wing. We're still, you know, doing the whole like, oh, 50% of the country is very left. 50% is right.
there's no left
We-
in this country. There's
Right.
just Nazis and morons, and that's it.
So it's, I don't care how we ended up here. Where we are now is very right-wing.
It's
And then I was
really
like,
bad.
maybe people don't know what fascism means or what authoritarianism means. Maybe they heard those words and didn't realize we were saying it about this guy and this party. I don't know. But so here we are. One thing that was brought up last night was, I think Emma said, if Trump wins, the Supreme Court is going to be conservative for the rest of my life.
Mm.
And Matlack said, no. The Supreme Court's not going to outlive climate change. We're all going to burn or drown. And a conservative Supreme Court might accelerate it even, right? And I was like, well, that's hopeful. But like, is that really where we are? And so then I was thinking, what do all the people's, what have I been reading from people on Twitter who have got me thinking about things other than relying on Congress for what we need? Like how we talk about relying on labor and stuff like that. And the fact is, we cannot depend on, it's truer in hindsight, but we cannot depend on Democrats or government to protect us or defend us from fascism.
Yes.
They let this guy do it. Imagine if the Unabomber set off a couple bombs. He blew some people up, and his manifesto was leaked. And they said, let him go back to his cabin.
Yep.
Let him use the mail. That's basically what happened with Trump in Project 2025. We knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He leaked the manifesto. They let him do it anyway. Here we fucking are. So if that's the system, then there's always been one thing that we can do, which some people are waking up to today as being like this great new idea, but it's not. And it sounds small, but it isn't. When you can't rely on government or your preferred political party to defend you or prevent fascism in the United States, you have to organize locally in your communities. It's you, me, us. That's who we rely on. You don't have any fucking heroes. There's no arena where two guys get out there with a sword and a shield and they fight. That's not what this isn't the Super Bowl. We all need to just let these dumb fucks do what they're going to do. Stop giving them money today. Stop donating money to them. forever. Fuck them. They're millionaires anyway. There's 100 sitting. Oh, I don't know if this is still the case today. I haven't looked at the results of the House or the Senate. But the last time I checked, last week, there were 100 members of Congress who are the descendants of slave owners. And I just think that that's like, and they're the wealthiest, some of the wealthiest members of Congress. And I just think that that is not different enough for me. That's not a big enough change for me. I'm not saying descendants of slave owners or slave owners as bad. I'm saying the power dynamics in this country have been firmly in one camp for a long time, and there's more of us than there is of them. That's all there is to it. And I think that whatever anyone's feeling today, the answer's been right in front of your face this whole time. We are what matters, not politicians. That might be necessary on some level, but you can work without them. You can accomplish goals without them. You just can. If you want, more socialist style lifestyle, all right, do that on the streets. You can. People do this. People do it all the time.
Absolutely.
And invest in labor. I think support labor, and that's where you get things like I watched a Rational National video a moment ago, and there were red states that voted for Trump that also voted for progressive policies. So I don't understand, but that's just a sign that it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So it's not who you want, it's what you want. It's not who you need, it's what you need. That you can't keep, the big lesson here is you can't keep putting all your chips on one person, all your faith in one party, because that's when you end up with people who are like, well, I'm not getting anything out of it. Let's all just not fucking vote. I'm not going to participate. That's when the bad guys step in and go, haha, that's actually what we wanted.
Yeah, well, one of the problems, though, is that there's a lot of people that just don't have any options, Like,
what do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you're like a transgender person in Alabama, like, you're dead. It's over. You're just counting your days. They're not going to make it. There's no community to organize. There's no labor to invest in. They're fucked. They're dead.
Yeah. And it's not an I told you so, but people should have. This is the whole reason, I've said before, I'm a white guy. They're coming for me last. But that also means I can stay in the fight longer. Now, you have to rally around people who aren't you. You know what I mean? We have to do this for people who need it the most.
Yeah.
Don't, I want to be an ally to people. I want to be reliable as that. And I think the majority of the country wants to do damage. I think they want to make decisions
They want to
that
do
hurt people.
so many very, very dangerous things for people for just entertainment purposes. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's depressingly true. I think to Andrea's point, we've got 90 days of triage ahead of us where we need to connect as many people as we possibly can who need to GTFO of wherever they are with the resources that'll help them do that.
So what, leave the country though? Aaron Reed has a, Aaron in the Morning, Aaron Reed?
I don't, but I assume it's a good show.
It's more of a column, but or Substack, she has her finger on the pulse of all trans legislation and what's everything. It's your one-stop shop. And she's putting maps out showing where safer places in the country for the time being, and then safer countries to go to.
Yeah, I was going to say both in answer to your question.
This is where we're at, is all the trans people have to get up and relocate.
Yeah, this is your fight. I'm done. I lost, to be honest. You guys are on your own for this one. I'm sorry, but
that's my point, is the folks who are in danger, we need to get to safety. And it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that that's giving up. It's just being practical in the face of a real bad scenario here.
Yeah. So what
But
organizing can we do around that?
well, finding the resources that exist and connecting people with them.
Yeah, if you can, do you have a way to like post the maps or whatever that you're talking about?
I
Is there
not
the
on my
moment.
iPad. Sorry,
Okay.
but
But that also doesn't mean that you give up your citizenship. You know, it doesn't mean you're out of the eventual political fight if we get to have another one. The other part of what we do is build that local power. As what you were talking about earlier, I think is just dead on. The rules are what the people around you say they are when it comes down to it. So the easiest fights for us to win and the ones that are going to come up next are local races that we can cherry pick around the country. We just need to build havens, build a new railroad, basically. Understand which towns are safe, which towns are run by decent people who will work with us, and create such towns. Get involved in mayor races and city council races and be a positive force. I think that's the work ahead of us, and hopefully out of that we build the replacement for the Democratic Party, because I think that this election has demonstrated their use is now done. They have no more use for anybody.
I was thinking though, or just one more note. I know we're off the cuff all the time on this show, but I really do not want to speculate about what people should or shouldn't do in terms of relocating. So let's wait till we have some firm information for people before we start. And maybe that's not going to happen tonight.
I posted the map thing in the chat room.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
But so I've been thinking I said something on Twitter last night, maybe touting Liz Cheney instead of something like, oh, I don't know, Medicare for all would have been a better move. But here's the thing about that. Kamala Harris talking about the border and a strong military and Liz Cheney's endorsement, Dick Cheney's endorsement. That's honest. She was saying, this is exactly who I am. That's her version of nothing will fundamentally change, which is what Biden told us. If she had said, oh no, Medicare for all, paid sick leave, all the great stuff, all the progressive stuff, it wouldn't have happened. And we would be in the same situation just in, down the road, right?
Yes.
It's they just do, if she had been elected this time, be in the same situation down the road. It's not the lesser of two evils. It's we have a finger in the dam. It's raining.
and the crap.
I'm going to go out there and say that I'm going to take it seriously that there are no more elections. I know a lot of leftists kind of point out that in a flippant way, but I'm going to assume that there are no more elections. And so I would advocate to leave as soon as possible. There might be local elections, possibly like gubernatorial elections, but anything federally, that's gone. That's over with.
Politics, elections, electoral politics are not something that I would prioritize in terms of planning and organizing.
Yeah. 1 second.
I think that's, anyway. You were one of the first people I thought of, Andrea, because it's not, there was a couple of people that stood up to ask questions at the live show last night who were trans, and they were talking about trans issues and how the Majority Report's been very cool about that and even get angry about it, in a positive way.
Yeah.
And, there were some guys next to me who were, you're chatting, right? And they were saying, I just heard them saying, I don't think I know anybody that's trans. And I was like, I have somebody. I would say that Andrea, of all the people in my life, Andrea is one of the most significant components to my my ability to do this sort of thing is because Andrea would have me on her show, and then she would come on my show, and we have like, this is evidence that you can build relationships with people beyond just like a virtual thing, right? Like, oh yeah, I know you from, like I said hi to Matt Bender last night, and he was like, oh hey. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's all you get?
Kind of deflated, but whatever. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I see John from San Antonio, and it's like a big hug,
Yeah.
A couple other people, it was like that. But you can't always guarantee that you're going to have like solid, caring relationships out of these moments that you spend together online, no matter how long they last. But like I was thinking about you, Andrew, because it's fucked up. I don't want any. If there's one person in my life who feels like they have to fucking relocate or leave the country or stop being a citizen because of one election, that's a red fucking flag.
It's really
for
bad.
The whole world. Yeah.
It's really bad.
But it makes it's upsetting to me. It makes me angry. So there's got to be things that we can do. Oh, this guy in the chat, Obvious Books, met him last night. What's up, Sean? It was so cool. We were all using code names.
You're gonna have to get really used to code names in the future.
This one guy was like, "Are you the letter hack?" I was like, yeah.
That's cool, dude. That's got to be a cool moment.
Having a lot, man. But it was like, it's like using our Twitter handles kind of.
Oh yeah. I remember when I would go to conventions, like gamer conventions, and you'd call people by their stupid fucking internet names. It's pretty great.
You just get so used to seeing them. It becomes in your mind their name. It's just it's such an odd thing.
Look, but let me finish this point, though. We all have to be there for our friends. And so, Andrea, if you need anything, you have to reach out to me. Any resources?
Yeah, well, if you know anyone that can get me into Canada.
I can get you into Colorado.
Well, I don't know if that's going to help me.
If you're friends with my friends in Colorado, that's going to be a lot different than being on your own in Canada. So.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm considering it. But I'm not sure if that's necessarily an upgrade from where I'm at currently. But
I don't know where you're at currently, but not a day goes by I don't wish I was.
I don't know either.
Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, I would consider maybe leaving where you're at, but I don't know.
Well, kind of safe being embedded.
You got this theory, but we'll see if it holds.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep, I had a lot of theories a couple days ago. Not feeling so confident anymore.
Matt, you will appreciate this, having been present at the live show. This was the brand of beer I was drinking.
Excellent.
Did you watch any of the stream?
Yeah, I watched basically the whole thing. I only went on in like the last 15 minutes of that.
Okay. They gave me a bracelet at the door. Everyone. And then I didn't have a ticket, so I had to show them my ID. I was on a list. And they gave me another bracelet. And I was like, what's this for? And they're like, VIP.
List. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was just some tables in the very back that are a little elevated. And here.
So you're saying that this so-called left-wing news website show had a classist hierarchical system where there's literally a hierarchy in the terms of like your seats are raised, like you're literally elevated above the proletariat beneath you?
They eventually let it be overflow seating.
Overflow seating? Interesting.
Yo.
Francesca Fiorentini. But so anyway, I'm walking. I went to the bar, I got a beer, I came back, and I see this guy looking at me. And I was like, you must be Alan Binder. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. He's like, are you the letter hack? And I was like, yes. Because he watches the shows. And so I was like, I'm sitting with you, man. So I hung
That's
out
so
with
cool.
Binder's dad the whole night.
Ah,
That's pretty good.
I
What
went
a
to dinner
night.
with John from San Antonio before that. So I'm sitting in this bar around the corner from the theater. John's taking a train down to meet me. And I got off the phone with him. And I was sitting next to two people who were going to the show. I just met them. And they were like, you know, I said, how long have you been listening to the show? And they're like, you know, long enough. I said, do you know John from San Antonio? And they're like, oh, yeah, guy calls in every Tuesday. Yeah. And I was like, that's who I was just talking to. And they're like, you were? And I was like, he's on his way over here. And they were like, are you the letter hack? And I was like, yes.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they don't know what you look like, though. They're fake fans.
It was just because John mentions me and then the beef.
yeah.
So,
Right, that's true. That's true.
So,
I do
Anyway.
like that John chose to attend dressed as an 80s Coke dealer.
so he comes in, big hug. We go get something to eat. And then did you see the part where he mentioned me on stage? It's hilarious. He said, yeah. He goes, yeah, I always go into detail about this stuff when I go on the Letter Hack show. And they were all like, oh, come on. And he goes, and Matt's a really good guy. We just went out to dinner and he's here tonight. And Sam was like, where is he? There he is. Stand up. And everyone clapped when I stood up. And then he did it again at the end of the night. I thought that was really
Good
cool.
man.
And so I'm talking to these
Is he
people.
going to come on Left Past 10 or what?
John might come on tonight.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
tonight? Oh, boy.
We'll
Hell
see.
yeah.
He's out looking at some avant-garde accordion music. I passed on. But he
Good man.
might.
I like
He
that
might
guy, dude.
But so I'm meeting all these people. I'm seeing them subscribe to me. And they're like, oh, subscribe right now. They're subscribing to my YouTube. Midnight hits. I'm looking at my YouTube just because, you know, it's been 6 hours or whatever. So I'm looking at it. And it went bloop, and I lost 18 subscribers
Oh.
right at midnight. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I've lost like 10 since. And so then I think it was Cosmopolitics today, was like, did anybody else notice all the bots are gone? And I was like, yep, that's what that was.
Bots. Interesting.
Something about the election. I don't know.
I do believe that just like the right wingers are fed misinformation or even true information presented in a way designed to make us argue with each other, the left, specifically progressives, are fed opinions from bots which are designed to get us to vote against our
Well, yeah, that was absolutely all this horseshit doomer posting garbage that you see on Elon's Twitter. Like, if you post like something about how, oh, let's not vote, guys, you're gonna get like 5 trillion fucking likes
Oh, yeah.
and retweets, you know, and stuff. And it's just they controlled the conversation.
Yeah.
Did you see
I
that
think at the
comment
end-
about the Vanguard boys being wrong on their
Yeah, I did.
Well, everyone's
I
fucking
didn't
wrong.
follow that.
As of today, I was saying like a couple weeks ago, I'm a host. I'm not an expert. I'm not an analysis guy. I don't claim to know any. I'm a fucking normie when it comes to like elections and polls and all that stuff. I would wager I would argue that today everyone is. There are some aggregators who can work with the polls, like John, but for the most part, nobody knows what the fuck is anything. And this last couple of weeks,
Well, I also would love to just bring up the concept that we can talk about, you know, because we might not have that much time to talk about it, of Donald Trump cheated. He installed all of his guys into the various positions of power and in charge of certifying votes and sort of transferring votes. If you look at Pennsylvania, for example, there's like 1 million ballots or something that are mostly mail-ins that are just somehow magically rejected at the last minute, and people are getting like email and phone notifications that their ballots being returned to them or whatever. People's ballots are being discarded because they forgot to put 20 in 2024. So, I mean, Democrats, It's obvious. They knew it was going to happen, just like January 6th. They knew it was going to happen. They didn't do fucking shit about it. And then that's why Donald Trump was like, oh, Pennsylvania, stop the count. It's cheating, recount. And then like an hour later, he's like, oh, just checked it. It's fine, actually. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
that's why when they said they were going to put snipers on some of these election centers in Arizona, I was like, can't you just?
And they had bomb
protect the
threats.
ballots?
Like there's like fucking 30 polling places in Georgia that were shut down for hours because of bomb threats called in by Russia. It was documented that there were Russian IP networks that are just like spam calling voter centers in urban areas in Georgia and Wisconsin, basically just calling in bomb threats to shut them down. So I mean, it's very obvious what happened. They cheated the fucking election. But of course, if you say this, it's going to be, oh, projection. Oh, you yelled at us for saying it last time, blah blah blah, because we live in fuckville. We can't just talk about facts, like the fact that, you know, they campaigned with Liz Cheney, the daughter of the person who stole the fucking last time in 2000. They stole that election. Democrats didn't fucking fight for it. And then they linked arms with the people who stole the last election to sink the ship even further down this time around. And they didn't even fucking pretend to fight for it. Kamala Harris goes out there the next day, I concede, blah, blah, blah. We're going to continue the fight. No, you're not, bitch. Like, you're going to fucking get executed like the rest of us, for Christ's sake. What the fuck is this bitch talking about unless she flees the fucking country?
The only thing about
the Democrats
this,
are going to get fucking murdered with this guy with the unlimited Supreme Court fucking shit. Like, I don't know what these people are playing. They're just playing this fucking hot potato game, and we're all going to fucking blow up and die. It's insane.
Only thing about this that's any good at all is that the Weimar Democrats are finally done. The Democratic Party. I feel.
I hope that they take him down
country
before
is
me,
gonna
so I
eat
get to
him alive.
watch. That's my only
Yeah.
fucking grace.
They won't criticize the system because they bank on it.
And they
That's
won't
all
use
it
the
is.
system to take out the Republican. Like they for the last, actually really my whole life, the Republicans have been breaking the law and disingenuously using the rules, or rather dishonestly using the rules and breaking the law. More and more and more, and they just got more and more aggressive. It went from voter intimidation in the 80s to impeaching Bill Clinton on a technicality, trying to take out the president on a technicality that had nothing to do with anything, to stealing the election in 2000, to lying to Congress to get us into a war, during which the whole country was behind the president because now it was a wartime president, to Donald freaking Trump, who never concedes when he loses and tried a coup. And the whole time, the Democrats refused to go after them. They just flat out refused.
Yeah, Merrick Garland. Like,
yeah,
you just let the guy win.
He must know that he'll be damned in the history books. He will be known.
There's not going to be any fucking history books. We're not going to have anything. AI is going to fucking rewrite the entire history of the world. If you see like the shit that they're putting out there, and now it's going to be fucking pumped up on steroids, Donald Trump's going to infuse so much fucking cash into this AI garbage. They're out there posting fake videos of MLK Jr. saying shit that like Donald Trump was saying and stuff like that, and saying, see, MLK Jr. agrees with me. They're going to rewrite the entire history of the world. Like, the only people in the entire history of this planet that are going to know the actual history of this planet are going to be this generation here. Generation Alpha, they're not going to know what the fuck happened. They're not going to know about the dinosaurs and the stars and the fucking goddamn history of our planet and how we grew out from fucking the primordial soup of nut. They're not going to know shit. They're going to know nothing. And anything beyond them, they're not going to know that they don't even know anything. It's over. It's done. You know, I was watching a movie
end of
earlier.
Human civilization is upon us.
I do. I think, or at least, you know, the end of whatever this is. And it just to say, I was watching a movie earlier and I was thinking to myself, like, are people going to be able to watch movies in the future? Like, this might be the last time anyone is able to watch a movie and know, like, yes, this was made by human beings. This is a not just some AI generated garbage that's shoved down to like fucking manipulate you to like, this is art. This is like, you know, this is what we're made here to be. To be doing is to create art, to share our experiences, and now AI is going to take it all. It's going to rewrite the history books. It's over. I mean, I don't know.
I think that everything is going to be accelerated now. Whatever fears you had or thought were getting worse in reality are going to happen quicker now. But just going back to people being like optimistic versus hopeful, sort of forcing optimism. Some people looking at polls and that Seltzer poll out of Iowa and being like, oh my God, and being elated. This is not a spiritual thing. That's a huge flaw, is when people start to look at politics as some sort of faith-based system, or like, a step away from my party is a step toward damnation. Like, it's, your party's not a religion. You shouldn't look at it that way. Having like all this, we joke around and call it like hopium or whatever, but having like, you should, if you're, look, I'm not an analysis or an analyst. I'm a host. But even I have a platform. If you have a platform, even as insignificant as my own, keeping in mind a theater of people clapped for me last night.
Please clap.
I'm still pretty small time. You cannot give anyone that false sense of security. We joke around about not being a doomer, but that's better than giving somebody a false sense of security. Telling somebody this is how bad it's going to get and letting them manage their emotions and expectations and all that from there, great. Giving them like that false sense of security pulls the rug out from under them. They don't have a chance to manage what's going on internally. And that's why it felt very spiritual the way like Emma Vigeland and people were talking about. I think this is going to happen. I think that's going to happen. It's like, there's no evidence. It's just what you think.
Well, the evidence is like, my argument is that Kamala Harris would have won if it was a free and fair election, but it wasn't, because they didn't fucking fight for a free and fair election.
But
like,
what
if we
would
had
we
actual
get out of that?
What do you mean?
Trump.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not very good.
That's what I mean.
The thing. But at least, we're not going to get shot in the streets. Like, I'd rather, I don't know.
Like, I'm with you, believe me, but
that's the thing. It's just the slow bleed. It would have been better to be honest with you, to the accelerationists' credit, it would have been better if Donald Trump won in 2020, frankly, instead of whatever the fuck this is, because now he's going to be way more angry. He's like, all of the normal people left, and he's just been funded by people that are on drugs 24/7 that don't have your best interest in mind, like myself, who was also on drugs 24/7. Like Elon Musk spent $50 billion on this election. He bought Twitter for this election. Like, it's over. It would have been better if Donald Trump won in 2020. I'm going to be honest. They were right. Joe Biden winning was a mistake. I mean, convince me otherwise. Like, I mean, tell me how this is a better scenario.
But this is the last time, in the Vanguard, I was watching some of their clips and they were like, yeah, we were wrong, way off. We're not going to make this mistake again. Might not have the opportunity to make that mistake
this is the last
again,
election.
It's a good awakening.
I would argue, I would even go as far as to say that this wasn't the last election. I would argue that 2020 was the last election, to be honest with you. I mean, you could say that 2000 was the last election and they stole it from us. So, like, everything since then doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Hey, real quick, whose comment is this in? Is this you, Jake?
Oh, let's have a gander.
Can you pin that?
Yeah.
Put a pin in it.
Oh.
I made a comic with Harvey K recently where at the end I said, yeah, if comics are even still legal. And we laughed about that. And then after a minute, we were like, that's not that funny.
I mean, even if comics are legal, it's just going to be used for AI training data. So your comic's going to, like, 5 people are going to read it, and then 78 million people are going to find something that like warps your entire, like, original intent.
Can we all leave Twitter at once? I wanted to do this. Can we all, and get the whole chat, can we all just leave Twitter at the same time?
I'm like 90% just leaving everything. Like, honestly, I mean, there's a good chance I'm not even going to do this shit anymore. I mean, this fucking horse shit's not worth dying over, honestly.
What?
Hold
on a second.
What would the argument be, Andrea, that I could make to get you to keep doing your show?
I mean, if you could get me out of the country, I'll keep doing my show.
Because you think they're going to come to your house.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've had them do that before. When, you know, like, I mean,
But there was
Scary
other
shit.
circumstances involved.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to
You
put
were
a target on my
protesting
back
every
here.
day. Like the cops knew you.
Oh, that, I mean, I've been chased by police many times. I forgot which incident you're referring to, but you know, I've been swatted. I've had cops like throw guns at me and like threaten to kill me and stuff. You know, yeah, I've had the cops stalk my house before. You know, and like that was under the Biden administration the second time. You know, like I don't know. At some point, you gotta throw in the towel. Like this shit's not worth dying for.
Yeah, I mean, you can't safely.
Like feel free to like repost my videos, man. But like I'm tempted to just give up.
You cannot safely, legally protest in this country without cops beating you up, arresting you. There were people who they like voted against abortion in Florida or something, and like they went to their house and like asked them about it.
Yeah.
Remember that DeSantis has like a goon squad or something, and it's like that's all happening under Democrats.
Yeah,
There's only so much fighting we can do before we realize there's no persuading these people to do the right thing.
I would turn around and say that again. I think the good that will have to be hewn from this mess. The spear we make out of the wreckage of our crashed plane to survive in this wilderness is that we can all just turn on the Democrats now. Like there's no more like, look, you got to vote blue no matter who. That was an understandable strategy for the time. I was a proponent of it because it made the most sense. But even I am just like, they don't offer anything. After the Biden administration, where they allowed this stuff to happen, Trump once again was made our problem to deal with. And America finally said, okay, we're not going to deal with him. We're just going to put him back in power, let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I feel like we all need to be Bernie bros starting right now. Be the most obnoxious, in-your-face attackers we can be when it comes to... Because, I mean, look, we were all... How many times did the three of us, just the three of us alone, say, you got a better chance of ending the genocide in Gaza with the Democrats?
Well, no one gives a fuck about the genocide in Gaza.
Well,
Let's be honest here. Americans don't fucking care about
the Arab Americans in Dearborn, Michigan, didn't even vote third party. They just voted for Trump.
They went to Trump. No one fucking cares. No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. And in fact, like, this is all... I feel like the whole election happened the way it did, and all the elections over the summer that were affected by AIPAC funding, I feel like they all happened so that genocide can continue. And so it can move into, you know, Iran.
I don't even want to think about how much money Israel fucking injected into this election on top of Elon Musk's $50 billion. Like, there's no way. If you think that this election was free and fair, you're so goddamn stupid that I can't even fucking think of a way to insult you in the English language. I'm going to have to learn an entire new language. I'm going to have to learn 3 new languages so that I could become trilingual and proficient enough in all 3 of them so that I could create an insult with all 3 languages combined into one fucking sentence. And even then it wouldn't summarize how fucking stupid these people are.
That might be one of the best insults I've ever heard. You're so fucking stupid that I can't even think of a way to insult you in a way to understand. That's going in the old bank for when we need it next time.
Well, I hope it's useful.
So I think you guys have a pretty correct assessment of how shitty this will be, but I do want to point out fascist governments tend to collapse. They tend to collapse ugly. And what we need to do is find ways to help decent people survive however this thing plays out. Maybe Trump really will say, like, I'm 82, I'm done with this stuff, I'm going to retire now and increase my stipend to $1 billion a year.
And watch him just walk out on day one and just, like, pardon himself and then leave
Yeah.
and then just live the rest of his life on his golf mansion while fucking JD Vance runs
I
this
don't know,
country
man.
into the fucking goddamn nightmare world?
I think of Queen Elizabeth.
Could
and
be.
I think of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. These
why
people
I
do
said
not
maybe.
walk off into the sunset.
That's why I said maybe. We don't know is my point. Maybe it'll
Dianne
be
Feinstein, Glitch McConnell.
maybe
whatever.
it'll be 15 years. That's my point. Is we don't know. So what we need to do is set up as many systems as we can, and preferably triage with the next 90 days for the people that are going to be in immediate danger from bigots. Triage now, and then set up systems for helping people survive, and try to begin to build a power base that we can properly activate when the smoke clears, assuming it ever does. But I'll say this, if we don't prepare for that hopeful day, then the day will arrive and we will be right back in the arms of the Democrats again. And that we cannot endure. That I think we truly cannot endure.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. The silver lining of all of this is I can't wait to watch what the Republicans do to these Democrats, man.
That will be fun. That'll be fun.
If there's one thing I agree with when it comes to Republicans, I fucking hate these goddamn Democrats. We might have different reasons for doing so, but hey, TV's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I just hope I can watch it from another place.
Who got the house?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter, honestly. I mean, it does matter a lot. It matters an incredible amount. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because here's
Oh shit.
here's everyone. The Democrats
Sorry.
love to work with Republicans, and the Republicans are like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yep.
Yeah, the Republicans are in the lead in the House.
Nice.
It hasn't been decided yet, but it's 205 to 190. Holy shit. Oh, it's
Okay.
gonna be real bad.
Here's the thing.
Fuck.
There's no. Some of the country is this way. This is America.
Yep.
The United States is a right-wing buffoonery. It's a machine making dummies who embrace authoritarians like they're surrogate daddies. That's all it fucking is. They're a bunch of losers, and they like it that way. They know
They're a bunch of Stevens.
They're fully aware, and they don't give a shit. And
They
this
are all Steven from Django Unchained.
It's one big bully. It's the I'm dumb but I'm bigger. That's this fucking country. And the fact that we fund Israel so they can do genocide is chicken shit. Just do the genocide. The mask is off. We all know what you're doing here, right? Just any day now, the U.S. is just going to start doing it themselves. The fear is the worst fear is that they're going to do it internally. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're talking about right now. They're just going to start wiping out whole classes of people through policy. And if you don't like it and you get in the streets, gives a fuck if they kill you.
I saw some shit on Twitter that the suicide rate in the United States over the last 36 hours increased 15x. So, they might not have to do that much work.
That's people being defeated by the idea of what they'll do. And I understand
I
they're
don't
going to be
blame
awful.
them. I don't fucking blame
another
them
way
for a
out.
second.
They just don't see another way out. And their whole life has been putting them back into that corner or down in that hole, and they cannot see a way out.
Because there is no way out?
There's literally walk north, walk south.
I think
you hit a giant fucking wall with people with guns that are going to say you can't cross this place without a correct piece of paper, or you have some sort of diagnosis, so sorry, we don't accept disabled people in our country, it's too much of a burden.
I think if every legal thing is suddenly illegal, learn to do crime.
Yeah.
I always think of this caller to the Majority Report in like 2020. She was like real laid back, but like pro shoplifting. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. She called in a couple times, and Sam was like, "What's this now?" And she's like, "Yeah, we should all be shoplifting." And
I agree.
I think about that periodically, and I was thinking about it today. Like, fucking A, man, we should all be.
Yeah. Cause that's why. I 100% agree with that lady.
Yeah. Do crime.
Do crime, yes. If it's an unjust law, break it. You think you can get away with it? By all means.
Can we talk about how fucking Gen Z is a right-wing nightmare? The kids will not save us. I'm sorry, man, but can we just shit on all these fucking morons who thought that the kids were gonna fucking save us? A bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, we had a real opportunity when Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was elected to say, "Oh, you can do it through grassroots donations. Oh man, we can have a whole bunch of these people." But instead, the media started calling her AOC and putting her on Rolling Stone, and then we called them the Squad, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, that reminds me of the Avengers. They're our heroes. They're not your fucking heroes." There should have been 300 of them, right? Instead, we all just were like, we'll do grassroots and PAC money. We'll do it all. When we should have just elected people through grassroots. That's why I'm trying to get Alexandra Rojas from Justice Democrats on the show. I want to actively say, what if the left leaves politics? What if the left leaves electoral politics?
This is
Voting
my
left
fear
like,
is
fuck
that
off.
the left is gone. There is no left anymore. People like us, like, we're gonna fucking die. We're dead. We're gone, or we leave the country. The only people that are gonna be able to do anything are people that are registered Republicans, have a clean, squeaky clean background where they've never made any political statements whatsoever. You have to be a white fucking man, and you're gonna have to like do a sleeper cell, like some sort of super coup. And if you're a woman, they're gonna catch you. If you're trans, you're already dead. If you're black, you're already dead. That's it. It's up to y'all. I mean, honestly, like, the only way we can get out of this is if like white men go undercover and they fucking do something, and so maybe we can exist again in the future. But I'm concerned that like trans people, this is it. This is like, there's like that 20-year gap in the entire history of the world where we were able to do anything at all, and now it's over. It's gone. Goodbye. And like, until maybe there can be one in the future, but like, I don't know. I think it's up to y'all now.
I do think that you are touching on something which is valuable, which is there's no reason we can't what do you call it, code signal. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
reason-
the whole say what you actually mean thing, and hope people like will be smart enough to like, that's gone.
Yeah,
What were
Just-
we thinking? Americans were just going to be honest and like have genuine conversations with people that they don't agree with necessarily, and be willing to open. What the fuck? No, we have to lie to them. We have to fucking lie. Well, you have to lie to them. They're never going to believe me. That, you know, like, that's it. You just
That's
have to
my
lie to
point.
them, and then convince them to fucking walk over like into the fucking correct little maze chamber because they're like a rat or a guinea pig at a fucking goddamn maze. That's pretty much all we got.
for the new wave of decent people who need to get into politics, I think ignore party. I think you go with whatever party will have you, knowing damn well that both Democrat or Republican are the enemy and will inevitably kick you out. But hopefully you'll have enough power by then that you can be reelected as an independent. But run on their dime and keep your morals, your ethics. Vote for the things that
And
you were
keep it
intending to vote
extremely
for anyway.
secret. Don't even let it slip to anybody.
And I think, by the
I'm
way, don't
registering
lie about what you
independent.
stand for.
I'm going to register Republican. I recommend everyone register as Republicans. The Democrats are over. It doesn't matter.
But my
I
point
was
is,
only
don't
Democrat.
lie.
I
when
was
you're
only
doing it.
Democrat so I could vote in the primaries, but like
Fair.
We didn't even have
I'm in
any
South
fucking
Carolina.
primaries. They fucking cheated us
Yeah.
out of the primaries. These fucking zombie fucking handlers waited until the exact minute the primaries were up mysteriously, and then, oh, now Joe Biden can go out there and fall on his face. Give me a fucking goddamn break.
But there is a crucial part of what I was saying, which is do not lie about the policies you intend to implement and vote for. You just need to learn to package them in a way that these effing
I
goons
disagree. I think
will-
you need to
will,
lie.
But
like-
look, Alaska was voting for a $15 minimum wage and paid sick leave.
Yeah,
Also Trump.
demonstrating that they have no effing idea
So remember,
what this is. So
a few
just be
weeks
like,
ago,
guns, rednecks, UBI.
a few weeks ago, the Washington Post did a policy quiz where there were like half a dozen policies, and they didn't say if it was Trump's or Harris, but they were mixed. And they said, "Who are you voting for?" And they were like, "Trump." And they were like, "Okay, whose policy do you think this is?" And all the good ones they thought were Trump's, and all the bad ones that were Trump's they thought were Harris's. So they voted for these, like, not necessarily progressive, but better policies. And the worst policies, they were like, we would never vote for that shit. And it's like, that's your guy's shit. My
They're fucking
worry,
stupid.
my-
They're guinea pigs. They don't have an inner monologue. They don't think about anything.
the
They're
Washington
zombies.
Post didn't follow up and tell them they did that, obviously, right? Like, they should have been like, oh, and by the way, those weren't, here are the results.
Yeah.
I've always said, not that it matters anymore, but like the populist candidate or the people voting for the populist candidate are more than likely progressive and don't know it.
Yep. I think you're right. I think that is it exactly.
I mean, I also just want to say this fucking shit. Like, what the fuck does populist even mean anymore?
So
Like,
if I
like,
give
if
you,
there's a time to retire a definition or
Yeah,
retire
okay,
a word, what
but-
the fuck does populism mean?
like, of all the people saying, oh, we need socialism. Well, that freaks out people. It shouldn't, but it does. But if you just say what you mean by that, like with the policy stuff, then it's like, of course. And that's why I always put it in terms of like the job. It's like, shouldn't you get paid what you're worth? Fuck yeah. Shouldn't you get paid based on your experience and know-how? Hell yeah. Shouldn't you get vacation, breaks, sick leave? If you have a baby, why are you still at work when you're what? Why shouldn't you get stay home too, right? Shouldn't you have better conditions, work more reasonable hours? Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay. So I'm not telling you that these are like democratic socialist policies, but they fucking are, dude. And it's like when Jake says packaging, it's like to fund the police. Everyone's like, oh, no cons?
Yeah, I mean, I
Not
think
what
that
we
this
mean.
is an extremely optimistic plan.
It's useless now.
Yeah, but like,
It was optimistic a couple days ago. Now I
Yeah.
don't bother.
Here's
I
the-
just,
I
it's just
need-
Americans
I
are so fucking stupid. They're
I
just
need fucking
dumb.
convincing now. Fuck the
They're fucking stupid. They're evil. They're
I'm your
fucking
new undecided
nefarious. They're
voter.
nasty. They're grotesque. They're disgusting. If I see an American, I just fucking ugh. And that's the worst fucking part of it is if I get the hell out of here, people are gonna fucking judge me. I'm gonna be further ostracized if I go somewhere else. Oh, that's one of those Americans. Ugh. The fucking stench. It's disgusting.
Imagine this
Um,
scenario. It's 2026 and you have elected a bunch of progressives to your city council. And they're progressives, but they have taken up seats in the Republican and Democratic Party. In fact, we were so effing sneaky, we took the Republican and Democratic nominations knowing we would get a progressive no matter what. 2026 is here, and Trump sends down it's a town. You can make that happen. I've seen it. But the point being, we're going to go to that head shaking in a second. But the point being, you have your people on a city council. That's very plausible. A message
And then they
comes
just
down
get
and
shot
says,
by some guy in the Proud
"Give
Boys, like
us
behind a
the
dumpster
name."
somewhere.
A message comes down from on high. It's your corrupt governor. And they say, give us the names of all the trans people in your town. the city council says, we looked and there are none. That's
They
the
are
value
going to
of doing this.
install the next president. They're going to say, we all know this is bullshit and rigged.
Who's talking about the president?
No, I'm saying it. Not this. I don't
is
feel
your
like I'm
suggestion
exaggerating.
then? Is your suggestion then in that scenario that the thing to do
We
is
don't
not
get
try to take any power at all?
We don't get to that scenario.
I mean, we can vote for them or whatever. If you are going to run for office under any sort of like progressive mantle, right? Like, good luck. Good luck. You're going to get MLK'd.
Why would the Republicans now, in 2-4 years, say, let's do another free and fair election with the Democrats?
city
Why
council?
would they? No, but I mean at all. Why would any of that matter?
I mean,
They're-
we
they're
might
being
have
installing
the
their own
puppet
people
elections.
everywhere.
I think we'll still have the 2 and 4 year elections. We'll still have city council elections, but it's just
Yeah.
they're all going to be in favor of, they're just going to be rigged from the start.
Yeah,
So you
I
go
think
up there and you say the rhetoric that you know they want to hear. You play that silly ass game, but you
they will
vote
beat
for
you up,
the thing.
shoot you.
Well, they'll try to beat me, and I'll.
That's
kill
the thing
them,
is you get one bite at the apple. You get one time. You got to pretend to be a Nazi, and then you get one actual moment where you can help somebody, and you just better hope
Yeah.
it's the right moment. And then after that, you're going to get executed.
you do what you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough. But we're all doomed. I mean, this is like 40, 50 years down the line. We're all doomed. We have internet history. They know who we are. We're all doomed.
Oh yeah. Oh, me for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's no scenario to gaining the system here that they haven't already thought of. Right?
Yep.
See, that I think is every bit as unhelpful as the people who are delusional about how good things will be.
What do you mean?
I understand the feelings. I really do. And I share them, frankly. But
Which part's unhelpful then?
when you're, it seems like particularly progressives, and with good reason, fall into the trap of any time you try to come up with a plan of action to jump on why it can't possibly work.
No, dude, this is unprecedented right now. This isn't any time, and I don't do that. I'm doing it right now for a specific reason. Right?
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, don't you think that's true though? Like these circumstances are a lot different.
This is the worst I've seen for sure. But
what
it's
I
not
would
the
say
first
is,
time it's the worst.
I'm going to go get more alcohol. I'll be right back.
What you're saying with elected officials and having councils and stuff like this, I say do that.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Do it and hope it works. It's not a promise that it'll work.
No, I'm saying what I'm about to say is without details. Okay, I'm not the guy, but if there's any hope of organizing without having to rely on that shit, that's your safest bet to me. I feel like we are in the place now where they were saying fascism, give me a break, and now they're all saying fascism.
Yeah.
And that the president who was and the VP who were just saying he's going to be really bad for democracy and he's a fascist. They're just going to do the peaceful transfer of power if Trump even shows up for that. But like, they're just going to do business as usual with the guy they were saying isn't business as usual. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, stop playing that. A game is the wrong word, but stop following the rules with the guy who you're accusing of not following the rules. And so like having like city councils and local government and stuff like that, how does that matter when the people who are ultimately in power aren't following the rules? And they
The
can
scenario I
just
just gave you.
I missed it.
Okay, say it
Repeat
again. Say the scenario again.
I missed it.
The larger government body goes to the smaller government body and says, "Give us a list of these people." And
I
the
feel.
smaller
Oh yeah,
government
that
body
one.
says,
Right.
"Oh, we looked, and thankfully, we don't have any of those people in our town." Woo!
I just feel like automation is going to.
What's the list they're asking for?
They just have the internet. They can just use AI. They could probably just go door to door. I don't know.
List of women who got abortions. List of whatever awful thing they're trying to do.
And this also assumes
Disobey.
that they have to ask. Like, why would they need to ask that question?
Yeah,
They're
aren't
just
they
going to pass
kicking
a law
doors
that
in?
says that they can go in there anyway.
Get a job as the person who they would ask for that stuff,
Well, here's the real
Simple
thing:
thing.
is if you're in any position right now, burn the fucking list. If you live
Yep.
anywhere, if you work in an abortion clinic, burn everything, burn it to the fucking ground. If
Okay,
you
we're
are
talking
someone who
about-
prescribes HRT to anybody, burn all the fucking
We're
lists.
talking
It's
about
like,
records and documentation, not a list. Somebody's not going to show up and say, "I'm from big government. Are you local? Where's your list?" Because that's where I'm like, "What is this?"
So you're hyper focusing on the specifics.
That's
Do
what
you
I'm saying.
not
Tell
see
it
what
to
I'm
me again
saying?
so I understand.
Okay. They ask you to do something that is going to cause harm. They ask you to participate in a way, and you have an opportunity to lie to them or deceive them or maliciously comply in such a slow way that you hinder what it is they're trying to do. And you know that you're not going to win the whole issue in that moment. It's not going to make Trump not the president. But what it will do is help the people of your town survive. That's what
I don't think they're gonna politely ask for shit.
Well, if they think that you're going to obey, yeah, they'll give an order, and you pretend to follow that order. You say, "Okay,
I emphasize the word pretend for sure. Absolutely.
Like how ICE says,
Yeah,
"Where are you from?" And then they kick your ass anyway, or just grab you and throw you in a truck, and they're like, "We'll figure it out later." Take their kids.
I mean,
I don't see it being that clean.
You will always be able to find ways it could go wrong. But the way it will definitely go the worst is if nobody does that and you let the people who would be delighted to put that list together or to find those names or to take take note of the citizens they can sell out for political points. If you let
But
those
here's the
people
thing, though,
get
is
those
that
jobs.
in the age of technology, I'd when it comes to the Holocaust in the 1940s, one of the biggest problems with doing the Holocaust was actually getting the list, actually finding where these people are and all that stuff. We're not in that kind of scenario anymore. They know where we are. They know how to find us. Maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 of us somewhere across the planet can survive, but we're all going to be eradicated. AI will completely destroy the history that we've ever existed. They're going to rewrite everything. And then there's going to be a white male supermajority. And it's not even going to be a supermajority. Maybe they'll have some minorities as pets, but really they're just going to rewrite everything. It's always been this way. It's over. I mean, I maybe there's some obscure movie type plot, Mission Impossible 94, that we can get out of this one, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's over. But at least we get to watch. That's the silver lining. We get to be the last group of people that get to actually see what real life is like. We get to actually see the transition of real life into the postmodern, post-real, whatever the fuck we're going to be turning into.
Yeah. Future's scary.
It's not good.
I'm not sure what this was in relation to.
I'm looking at Vancouver, British Columbia. Any thoughts? I think in terms of moving.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Canada's not looking so good as far as right-wing overthrow. Right-wingers are doing really well over there, but you know what? Fuck, I
mean,
consider Canada. They're 4 years. I mean, Mexico. They're 4 years behind us. They just got their neoliberal.
It's easy for me to say. I'll admit it, but I prefer to stand my ground. And
I agreed with you in 2020 and 2016, but not anymore. I mean, but yeah, I understand. I would prefer if you stood your ground.
Yeah, I'm not leaving. I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me I'm not an American. You might as well kill me then, because
I'll be damned if someone tells me I am American. You know how trans people love to use the term, we go stealth, where we pretend that we're cis or whatever. I'm going to go stealth. I'm going to pretend I'm Canadian. Oh, America, never been there. I don't really know much about it. Isn't Donald Trump is he the president? I don't know anything about America. What's that? I never heard of it.
Okay, so in this context, Pendulous Dragon, check out Lance of the Serfs. Somebody was saying in the chat, whoever it was, if you could post that again.
Anti-corporatist.
Yeah, is that that's what it was. That's what anti-corporatists put up.
Yeah, it's pinned in my chat. If you head over to my channel,
Pinned
which you should
in
have been
Jake's
on from the
chat.
jump. Really, I don't know why you're at the letter hacks chat.
I mean, I have a chat too, but I'm sorry, I'm not doing any chat bullshit. I don't have the mental fortitude to be able to like poke around in there. Just go somewhere else and click it.
So anyway, I do what I was trying to articulate earlier. I do think like there's always this point where everyone's like, I don't think we're there yet, and then not necessarily when it's too late, but eventually people are like, oh shit, we're already there. Do you know what I mean? So like I would just play it safe and assume that we're there.
Oh yeah,
that they're going to be like, you know, it's going to be like the witch trials where none of them were witches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Witches were the ones doing the fucking trials in the fucking first place.
They're going to be like, my neighbor was pregnant a few weeks ago and now she's not. Get her. You know, it's going to get
in reality, she
crazy.
just fucking had Taco Bell 3 days in a row, like it happens.
Oh god.
We're not supposed to be laughing at this.
You're
We
not going
must.
to take my fucking sense of humor. You will have to kill me first,
Yeah.
which is probably going to be pretty close. So, hopefully my last words are a joke. That's going to be.
I'm pretty sure my last words are going to be, you can go fuck yourself.
Here's a true story from
Blam.
the family lexicon. We once found out. Bear in mind, I have a gigantic family, so I'm not doxing anybody. But we once were informed, my brother and I, when we were in our teens, what another family member had just done, and they were going to go to prison for a very long time. And it was the kind of thing where, you know, you're hearing the words and they're like echoing in your head as you hear them, because you would have never imagined, like, oh my god, a moment of rage, and I didn't think that they would ever. And so the family ends the conversation. They say, y'all understand? Yes, we understand. My brother and I walk off together, and I don't remember which of us said it, but we're like, good news is, for one of us to be the black sheep now, we would have to do something that would get us greater than 30 years in federal prison. If we're even doing 20 years in like jail just consecutively for various crimes, we're still not the black sheep of the family. We just got a lot of leeway here. It's the only way you can deal with this stuff.
Or you can just,
would be fun to test
transition
the
your
theory.
gender, and then that will make you the black sheep. Because if you're trans, your family's going to abandon you no matter what.
I refuse to lose the mustache, but fair. I'll try.
No, you
There
can keep
was there are a lot of things you can do that would I like that story, Jake, but I'm thinking now of all the things that someone could do. I'd be like, you're the new black sheep for that. I had a coworker who we had a community refrigerator in the fucking employee break room. And there was a coworker opening other people's like containers and smelling them and putting them back.
Like a museum?
And I was like, that's mine. That's my lunch. I didn't do it like, that's my lunch. I did it like, don't contaminate my fucking food. And she's like, I was just smelling it. And I was like, full stop.
Oh.
I was like, that's disgusting. Nobody's doing that. Fuck this.
That's like a Seinfeld type situation. What
It really
fuck?
is.
And I think somebody might have said that. And like, there were other people in the break room that were like, Matt, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like,
a big deal.
let me
It's a
smell
huge
your
deal.
lunch. I was like, I'm smelling all
What are we
your
going
fucking
around
lunches.
smelling people's fucking lunch boxes?
Jesus.
This is
I
the
said,
problem. This is how
are
we
we
got into
all
a fucking
allowed to-
pandemic in the first place. People smelling each other's lunch boxes.
Should 10 people be taking upon themselves to smell all of our lunches, or is it just this one person's allowed, or is it okay if it happens now and then? Like, what's the rule to this? I was like, how about if it's not yours, don't fucking touch it.
Or maybe
Just imagine.
possibly ask. Maybe think about asking. Is that about,
Hi, I grew up in a fucking barn apparently, and I think that refrigerators are food museums. Can I put my nostrils near where your mouth is going to be?
I almost punched that person I'm not kidding. I was
Yeah, I mean, it'd be forgivable. It'd be one of those things where the police are like, "Look, we're not gonna call it assault. We're gonna call it disturbing the peace because it's understandable. We know." I hit her. I slapped her a little bit when I found out what she did. So I'm also fired. But again, they're not pressing charges because it's understandable.
Yeah, it's like, hey, my name's Matt. I just punched somebody for sniffing my lunch. Huh? What? Oh, okay, thanks.
Only once? Yeah. If it's just you get a free one if they sniff your lunch.
The cops
that's
don't
the
care.
law.
The cops
No.
said I should have done worse. You're lucky. Fuck that. But when I really lost it was when the 3 other people said I was overreacting. Then
Yeah,
I began
that's
to
insane.
Oh yeah, well they're gaslighting you. That's the problem.
I really
But no, that exact story reminds me of what we're going to be dealing with very soon is the bystander effect because people
Right.
don't want to fucking get involved. They're just going to say,
Yep.
"Oh, just calm down, calm down." Now, obviously this is like a Seinfeld story you're telling here, but this is basically how people react. If you're saying something like, "Oh, someone made me uncomfortable slightly," all of a sudden you're changing the status quo. Someone can fucking walk all over you. That's totally fine, but the moment you stand up for yourself, you're the fucking person that everyone's looking at funny, and that's the fucking problem with people is people are followers. They don't give a fuck. They'll watch people get beaten. They'll watch people get fucking killed. They might think, ooh,
Yeah.
I would never do that, but you are doing that just by watching it. You're enabling that to fucking happen. Not to turn
Yeah.
your Seinfeld story into, we're all gonna die, but we're pretty much all gonna die. So
Yeah.
I'm touching my screen to make this happen, and it's a lot different than using my mouse.
mm-hmm.
I'm just scrolling through the chat to see if anyone's mentioning me. Just kidding.
Oh, no. That's fine. That's completely acceptable. We're streamers. That's it. That's if anything. That's just being responsible. That's doing responsible work research. Somebody tell me how it is.
So last night I was sitting next to Binder's dad and the Sunset Lake Zebedee guys. I was like, did you bring any? Because this town smells like shitty weed everywhere I go. Really shitty. Legal. Sometimes legal weed when you don't have like proper farming locally is not good.
I did do an act of petty revenge, like the crack of dawn yesterday. So I went to the Republican part of town, and I did in the middle of the street light up the fattest blunt I could roll, and I smoked
And then
that.
you pooped on their front porches, correct?
If I would have thought of it, I would have. But no, I was like, wake up, you motherfuckers, to the smell of my depression. That's the one thing I'm gonna do.
Well,
Next time you're attracted to somebody, be like,
here's an idea.
Smell your
Everyone
lunch.
starts seed bombing Republican lawns with hemp plants.
Holy shit! You know what? I would love to be like a Johnny Appleseed, but with hemp.
fuck
Matt's
yeah,
the
dude.
connoisseur of only the finest weed. I like that.
Jake, what do you call him? Jakey Hempy Seed.
But instead of like a lovable trap, it's like, who is that fucking wretch? Before we run him out of town, search him. Yeah, you can tell he's coming not because he's whistling a happy tune, because like it smells like weed and jizz. Ugh.
Just
Jakey
imagine.
Nefarious combination.
Just imagine being like that guy.
Can
And
I say
he's
something
like-
real quick? I'm
He's just
gonna
like, fuck
go
with that.
outside real quick and I'm gonna rejoin, but it's gonna be dark. I'm here when I join, so just like
Okay.
bring me in anyway. So
All right.
Okay.
Sorry,
Sorry, I
but
left
like,
yesterday, by the way.
oh yeah, no problem.
what would that guy do though, right? Because he'd be like, Johnny Appleseed got up every day, worked with indigenous people, did like a lot of really cool stuff. The weed
I didn't realize
guy,
he was real.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
there's a graphic novel. Yeah.
What?
The weed guy would be like, what was I gonna do today? Oh yeah, I was gonna spread the word about weed, man. Hold on, let me just roll one real quick. I'll get to that later this afternoon. And then he's seeing other people. And he's like, "Do you guys know about weed? Spread it around."
Everyone's gonna be like, "Yes, you were here yesterday." Okay. Did you want some seeds? We have the seeds, yeah, and the really expensive grow lights that we bought. Yes, we have them. Because weed, we know. Get out of here.
What you want him to do. So the way that would be helpful is if anyone. So in Colorado, when they legalized it, you were allowed to grow a certain number of plants, 6 at a time, 3 flowering and then 3 not flowering.
Yeah, it's virtually identical here.
And so what people would do is, you would find somebody who was an expert and just be like, "Can you take a look at my operation? What do you recommend?" And very simply revolutionize whatever you have going on. Make it 1,000 times better, right? For example, I had a guy tell me.
Hello?
I had a guy tell me, when your plants get 3 feet high, tie them down level with the ground. They will fight to reach the sun and start to turn into hedges. So
what are you talking about?
Hedges.
Instead of this tall fucking plant, you have like 3 of them that are like a row of fucking hedges, man.
That's cool. That would be cool as hell.
It was wild. And I was like, "You can tie him down. That's not bad." He's like, "No, watch what happens."
We're talking about a pot growing advice from a kindly and I presume pungent stranger.
Okay.
This would be the Johnny Appleseed guy, who's like, "You should tie those down, bro. They'll hedge."
I do like the idea that Johnny Appleseed or that Johnny Hempseed forgets what he's supposed to be doing, so he winds up getting around to it like 3:00 in the afternoon, and then it turns out it's a house he's been to already, and they're getting progressively more annoyed. Oh God!
Hey,
I kind of want to film this. Sandy!
Yeah, what time did you guys
I tried. They showed up at 8, so I was like,
yeah,
8:00. I was
tried
like
to
in
let
the
you know.
shower. Well, I have been being a mom today to distraught young women, friends of my daughters, who cannot talk to their parents because their parents are idiots politically. And I just got off the phone with, I won't give her name, but with one of the young gals. I mean, they grew up at around my house, and so they know they can talk to me. And I've been trying to tell them that we have to just learn. It's going to be learning how to live in a bit of a different world. We're used to things, but we have to look at how other countries, how other people acclimate.
Yeah, just look at fucking shit like Iran. You're a second-class citizen now. You're going to have to wear certain specified clothes. You're going to have to report to your husband every time you leave the fucking house. Your fucking boyfriend can legally rape you and then fucking force you to become their property because they've impregnated you in this fucking new hellscape. So
okay, I didn't say it like that. And I'm talking about like looking at Russia and how Russians live, because that's more close to how we're going to end up. Russian like Hungary, I don't think Iran quite yet, if that happens at all.
might as well be. What's the fucking difference between a hijab and whatever the fuck trad wife bullshit they're gonna fucking force on people? Luckily not me, because I'm gonna be dead already.
Well, I'm trying to at least help these kids, and they're not kids, they're young women, they're in their 30s, but they're my kids. They're like, they grew up at my house because I was the cool mom always.
And I do think Sandy's kind of nailed it there. I think Russia is what to look at. A, because Trump specifically admires Putin, and B, because they suffer from the same sickness we do in their society. They will let the government do anything so long as a certain class of people has the illusion of comfort and democracy. They don't even need real comfort. They don't even need real democracy. They just need things to, as you said, they need to be able to be bystanders.
Absolutely. They love watching the chaos.
Well, she's
Yeah.
already goes to the PTA meetings for her kid, and I said, "Well, now you'll just have to step it up and maybe run for school board.
Yep.
I'll keep you in the loop as to what's going on in your area with environmental concerns, for what you can do there." I mean, I was trying to give her proactive stuff and not to cry, although I said, "You cry, and if it takes you a couple of days, okay, you
I've been
cry."
fucking crying for fucking goddamn
I know,
16 hours
I know.
straight. I can't fucking stand
My
this whole shit.
daughter is crying also. I am crying with you guys, but I have turned my crying and I'm turning it into, okay, preparation. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? I mean, we have to. What are we going to do? And we're all in some kind of situation that, social security disability or social security or whatever we're in, yeah, I'm in New York and I told Tiffany, I said her name, but I said, at least you're in New York and you guys are white, you can hide a little bit,
That's what I was saying to the one half of this show here. Like, it's on y'all.
I know.
Oh.
And trust me, she's already telling me that she's blocking people and she's cutting them all off in Facebook because she
You should have
can't
done
even
that
look
fucking
at
2
them.
years ago, and maybe they had a chance to. I know. I'm
I
upset, but
understand, Andrea. I do.
I would. Yeah, if you have anyone in your life that's a Trumper, they're evil, they're a Nazi, fuck them. Like, you're better off without them. Like,
Well,
suck up their resources if you can. If they're your
I
parents, try to ask them for as much money as you can. Steal from them, whatever you need to do. Take their fucking shit, bleed them fucking dry, and leave because they're fucking evil.
I've cut
Hmm.
a lot of people out of my life, toxic people that I realize who needs them, and like I said last night, I think I was telling you about people I've known for 30, 40 years who, who I got into discussions with that would answer me on Facebook, that had the balls enough to answer me. And their main issue, and they were all men. None of the women would argue with me or debate me. Men would. This guy, and everything was immigration. So there was a thread fight, and somebody said to this dude, "Well, dude, you're Italian. You were the N-word of your time when your grandparents emigrated, dude. So all your hatred is kind of like a little hypocritical, isn't it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So hi to my chat. There's 38 people in my chat.
I'm gonna go back inside.
Am I on my own? Yeah. Hey guys.
We'll
I'll be
see you
right
in a
back.
bit, buddy.
So we are looking at a dystopian future if they have the House and the Senate and I mean, we are going to live our lives differently. We have no
Yeah.
choice. But like you said last night, Jake, I'm pretty doomer on all this. I'm like, well, we're fucked. But when you say we're fucked, it's not like, okay, maybe in the big picture, but there's always something to do. Like I told Tiff, something, and she's already doing it with the school, with being the PTA. And then I said,
Yeah.
okay, you can run for the school board. And she lives in a very diverse, multicultural area. And she's telling me how her son is just friends with everybody and has no, doesn't understand what the problem is with kids being Muslim or kids being different, that they all are in this town they live in.
Yeah.
What did I
Make some
miss?
people's lives better if you can.
Outside of Buffalo.
What did I miss?
Nothing.
Smell
I don't know
weed.
what I missed. You guys been on for
You
an hour and a half without me.
Why do I smell weed now? It was like
You
right when
guys-
Andrea came back.
I have
Pungent.
consumed literally, and I'm not even joking, at least $100 worth of
Looney
drugs.
Tunes.
Like,
Really?
I mean, I've consumed drugs via every possible way and mechanism I can think of, and
I wish I could hug you.
Andrea,
Well, I drank
should
my
fear-
alcohol last night on the show.
Yeah?
At 2:30 in the morning, I drank this. It was a glass of Jack of water, which I never do.
oh, we should fear and loathing our way to Sandy, and then to Matt. So we're out of the stuff by the time we hit Matt up, and then it's coffee time. That's my plan.
I'm drinking vitamin water with.
I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
okay.
you might as
Dehydrated,
well.
I'm
We only got like
dehydrated.
fucking couple months left to live, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Go on a drug.
Meteors
bender.
flying towards us. Let's throw who we
Yeah.
can in the bunker and have a party.
Don't look up.
End of the world. Why not? Yeah.
I've got my perfect don't look up picture actually.
I'll be sitting there with my Red Ryder BB gun, like, take that,
Your-
meteor.
Your BB gun. I've got people commenting on they want
There-
the hat. I'm gonna be making hats to sell. Oh, I'm losing subs like crazy. They must
Well,
not
yeah.
like.
Yeah,
What the-
Sandy, I was saying
Yeah.
earlier, it
Oh.
appears to be a lot of bots have
Oh,
left. I lost 25.
so there was the whole bot army was out for the election, and then they're going away. What bots would subscribe to environmental?
I've picked up 2.
You'd be surprised.
I did not
Hi, dog dude.
lose anybody.
Well,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but it's weird.
But-
I watch, small channels. You see them go down 5, up 3, down 2.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just gained.
Let me be clear.
Troll
You've
bot.
still net gained way the
That's
more.
Yeah,
way
I
the
just
more. I just need something to brag about.
Oh, you can
Um,
brag. You can brag.
Thank you.
Hey.
so what we need. Somebody was just going in this direction with the conversation. Well, what's going to start happening? This is what people need to look for. This is a typical management, like a good management tactic in a new environment. We have a new product, we have a new facility, we have a new machinery, whatever it is, influx of funding, employees, whatever it is. We're going to start to find small ways of creating a blueprint or a playbook. When we were doing mass protests in this country during George Floyd, I think it was from China, somebody was like, here's a fucking pamphlet they made on how to dress for the protest when the cops are violent, right? And it was like, here's a couple of moves you can use on a cop, right?
Oh my God.
That kind of stuff. There's going to be these little things that are going to happen now. Let's just assume the walls are closing in. Let's just assume that they're going to be clamping down. It's going to get very fucking oppressive. Maybe it's not overnight. Maybe it is. There's going to be things that people pick up on and go, this is how we do this now. Whatever it is. This is how we protest.
Yeah.
This is how we go to the grocery store.
assimilate and assimilate and infiltrate.
This is, and I just want to say, one of the key things, it's not enough to say this is how a trans person should use a public bathroom.
right.
I want to know what the rest of us can do in that
Right.
situation. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what we need to
Yes.
start documenting, is how people can be, first line of defense for the defenseless.
Yeah.
That's
together
the stuff
to
I'm going
fight.
to start documenting, because
Well,
I got a book. I forget what the book was. It was a used book. And anyway, somebody had just come back from a protest and had made all these notes on the back of their bookmark, and they left it in the book.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
I
right
was
to
like, this
resistance
is
playbook.
rad as hell.
That is rad as hell. And I like the
Hi,
idea
Nadia.
of coming up with the resistance playbook together. I think that's smart. I think we
That's
should do
exactly it. The resistance playbook.
Yeah,
That's
and it's kind of
okay.
like Harvey's already thinking it through. I saw him on Twitter making comments. Harvey JK.
we need to start.
Wisdom.
We need to start. I want to have regular segments about the resistance playbook. We're gonna have a new channel on my Discord starting when I get home tomorrow, unless somebody wants to do it now. Latina Mufuni.
I don't want to do it.
But I want a resistance playbook where we start listing this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Did you
Print
talk about
everything, by the
fact
way. Print it
what-
all, write it all down.
Yeah, because what
They
happens?
can any moment they can hack your phone and delete everything if they want to. They
Yep.
control the entire NSA apparatus.
I'm
Print everything you can, write everything that's important, because they control everything. They can listen to everything you say. Anything you say that's anywhere near a cell phone can be recorded and is being recorded. Just assume your cell phone is an active listening device at all times.
It
If you
is.
say anything whatsoever, again, this is for the future. This is for the, the people that are like 5 years old or whatever. Maybe they'll see something like this. I don't fucking know.
Okay, but what happens in the event? I mean, we look at Russia was sort of an open country before they did the Ukraine invasion. They were allowed to have YouTube. I followed NFKRZ, the kid Roman, for years, and he had a YouTube channel. They had an open-ish society. Well, now they have closed their society. They don't have outside social media. They have state-sponsored social media. What happens next if we cannot have our channels? And how would that get implemented? How could a government like the fascist government of Trump control YouTube or any of them?
They just shut it down. I mean, first of all these tech companies, they love Donald Trump. They'll do anything he fucking says. They fucking love this guy. Donald Trump's going to control the whole fucking internet.
I'm on Rumble, I get these weird comments on Rumble once in a while.
These fucking guys are insane. And also, yeah, like download the entirety of Wikipedia, print it all out, make your own fucking volume if you can, whatever. Put it on a flash drive, put it on a local machine. Again, start investing in maybe old technology from the aughts, maybe the 90s, stuff that can store information locally that doesn't have smart technology, that doesn't have internet Wi-Fi chips in it. Because again, this is the world we're going to be living in here. Technology is going, like, if anything made after like 2010, probably even earlier than that, is just going to be compromised entirely.
Everything. I do have, we have, some of those, like my backup WMD, my backup disk for it's just a plug-in thing. That's all it is.
Any other night, somebody saying, how the fuck could Jake download all of Wikipedia would be like a segment.
Yeah, how could Jake download?
Yeah, tonight is just step number 75 of how the fuck are we going to get through this?
Hi, Ernie's Cabin. Oh gosh, I wish I could go to Canada.
I would also like to just recommend that, like, there's a good chance none of us are going to make it through this, and like maybe we should just consider to reorient our entire like perspective on like helping future generations make it through this fucking horseshit.
Well,
I'm just
what I'm doing with the kid, with my daughter's
friends. Exactly, Sandy.
Love me as mom.
We got to pass on this information.
Well, this is what I think. See what's happening now,
because young people need information from real individuals and not this whatever the fuck the internet's feeding these people. Again, Gen Z is going to the right of millennials. Give me a fucking break. These kids are fucking insane. They're fucking insane. They're stupid. They're brain rot fucking morons.
Well,
fuck these goddamn kids.
These are older. They're kids to me, but they're older than
millennials. Hey, we're the best. We're the best. The rest of y'all can go fuck yourselves, man.
See, I could go to Canada, I guess, but you need to have what is it, 50 grand, and you need to have your health insurance and all. It's only 90 miles away from me to go over the border. But what am I
that like? Are you sure if that's like up to date? Like,
I don't know. It might be more than that. And what am I really going to do? It took this one woman years to get her visa to actually move. And what am I going to do? I have 7 cats and a homestead here. I don't really want to go anywhere. I really don't. So I'm going to assimilate.
I don't want to fucking go anywhere either.
Although they do know me here. They do know me here. But at least nobody knocked my mailbox down this year. I only had one sign, and it was the Proposition 1 sign. I didn't put up political signs this year.
Yeah, fuck that. Why put a target on your back?
Well, they already know, I'm who I am. I've been here 10 years.
Yeah, but that's what just.
They also know I'm a badass. They also know I'm a badass. I'm sorry.
Just throwing your shotguns around live on stream.
Oh, that was just because I wanted to talk about the SAFE Act in New York, which I think is very good legislation, which I really wish.
Letterhack has a story to tell about this.
I was like, I kind of told Sandy earlier, I was like,
you did.
Half asleep, and I was like, oh, Sandy's on here now. Oh, she has a gun. Are they talking her down?
And we're all
what
drunk,
is going on?
We're all drunk as fuck. We all have red faces from crying all night.
Right.
Like, and this bitch is throwing a gun around. Like,
oh, I'm not throwing it around. I was showing you it's a vintage It's vintage, first of all, and they were made in
Oh,
Ithaca, New
first
York.
of all, it's vintage.
Yes, it's an Ithaca Featherlight. It's an old pump shotgun that the cops always use.
It was
It's cool
cool,
as
I
shit.
will say.
And it was a gift, and I know how to use it. But I also am making a point that in New York, we really have a really good gun law. The gun laws here are good. All the right-wing assholes hate them. But if something like what we have here could be federal, it would be wonderful.
Oh,
And
that's
it could,
never gonna happen.
but of
I
course
wanna-
not now. But that was what I was hoping when I went through the whole process, and showing that to you. I don't know. I was 2:30
I
in the
wanna
morning. I just
share
woke up.
something.
No,
Something
it was
Getting
great.
lost.
I had a great time. It was awesome.
Before
I
you
would
do
put-
share that, can
Mhm.
I give a disappointing answer to Nadia because she paid for it?
Oh,
She asked where am I getting my information? Yeah, can you talk about which countries to go to? Oh wait, oh not that one. She was asking me about when I said
Yeah,
fascist.
tell me, Nadia,
Well,
if you
we
have
gotta
any
read 'em both
information, feel free
anyway.
to
Fair enough.
send it to me.
Nadia Yvette Chambers, I can talk about which countries to go to, not a simple story, and the Christian right, and more if you're interested. Also, there's strong evidence that 1968 and 1980 were stolen elections as well.
I would agree
Fair.
with 1980 at least. Yeah, I mean the fucking whole hostage crisis and all that fucking horseshit.
hi, unbiased thoughts. Yep, Debs ran a milquetoast candidate and lame campaign. I thought the campaign was good, but alienated
Somebody in the
most
super
of.
chats, buddy.
But alienated most of the progressive and younger generations, and here we are. Well, of course they did, because they should. We didn't like the Dick Cheney thing at all. I mean, that was a big misstep, I think.
So Nadia Yvette Chambers had another super chat. Which fascist
Oh.
government collapsed? Salazar, Franco, Pinochet, Videla, etc.
Yeah.
all lived to advanced ages. All the WACL members lived to be borderline centenarians. Truth be
Jesus.
told, I'm just going off of old memories of trends. I don't actually know.
There is a
ahead.
saying, all empires fall.
I got a picture for you guys.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
my
a
point
saying
was-
because we haven't hit
Just
the
send it
fucking
today.
techno-fascist empire that we were about to fucking go into.
So
That's
to
a saying
answer the
until the
question
one
she
that
was
sticks.
asking, I don't actually know off the top of my head. I will say that that Chile and similar hyper capitalist dictatorships have had accelerated decline, and the reason is they simply encounter trade wars, and then everything goes to hell. They rely on keeping people happy and sedated, and it becomes harder as they operate with less and less, I don't know what you'd call it, fat on the economic body. But you're not wrong. Look, we should prepare as though we're entering into the new Republican regime that's going to last 50 years, and we're all going to die in 15 via the gallows. We should prepare as though that's the case, and try to build things that we can to preserve as much as we can, to make the world better on the other side, because there will be another side. Even if it's a civilization of sentient otters, we're still the good guys. And
Algae.
we must do what we can.
It's gonna be
So
algae.
here,
I'm rooting for the algae.
This kind of on that note,
Yeah.
I think somebody said something that made me think of this tweet, and then that kind of brings it back. So maybe it's still relevant, even though this is like 15 minutes ago. Again,
Okay.
this is
I
Aaron
wasn't
Reed
here.
saying some great stuff. I would have brought this up on screen, but I can't do that tonight. Sorry.
Jay can't do that either, huh?
This is from 19 hours ago. So,
Oh.
like, moments before Trump took the stage. It's Aaron Reed. She says, trans people, in some ways, we're no longer fighting for our own rights, but for the people who come next, which is sad, but hopeful in some ways, because when I think about who came before, Dorchin, Jorgensen, Wendy Carlos, I'm not sad for what they overcame. I smile. I will never stop telling our stories, because when those who come next look back to see those who made the world possible, it'll be us they read about. Anyway, we have one other role in this story we are telling, and that is to make it hard for them, make it cost something, make their cruelty something they can't hide. That's what I intend to do. I think that's what everybody should do. But anyway,
Yeah.
it made me think of that.
I've been doing it all my life. I've been a few decades around the here on this planet doing different things, but and it's this is, I think, going to be the most difficult for me to do this with these younger folk.
But
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna waste. It's like I think the Trump family themselves are gonna waste a lot of time being like, how should we have gotten more money out of this the
Yeah,
last time?
sure.
It's all the other people that Jake has been showing those videos of, the Project 2025 people. It's those motherfuckers. It's all those people
Yeah,
who are going to be doing the
that's-
dastardly shit.
Yep.
And then their minions
Yep.
are going to, like Proud Boys and stuff like that, they're the ones who are going to start trouble and make it ugly, and no one will do anything. Like if there was a Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville now,
Mm.
what do you think that would
I don't
be?
know.
Well, I mean, if somebody
would
died
ban it.
during that, would they be like, I mean, because
Yeah.
they made it look, somebody got ran over by a car and died. It was horrible. We were all like, this is the worst thing ever. And then they made laws that said you can do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I think we're pretty much in a really ugly country. And when you say make America great, I mean, it's like, is that, what kind of joke is this?
I'm gonna be a latte liberal.
And I love my
I'm
country.
gonna go make myself a latte, but I'm not a liberal. I'll be listening.
And then pull up the picture I sent you,
What
Jake. You can.
picture?
It's in Discord. You can pull it up, right? Matt
No.
can't 'cause he's got to. Oh, I thought you could. All right,
No.
forget it.
Sorry,
Matt.
but I
certainly
saw
doesn't
that
have
Trump is Nero. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. And I'm going to be. I'm selling something, guys, and I'm doing a poll on it. They're going to be hats. I'm actually going to sell the
Hell yeah.
WASF hats with my little logo on it because today you guys, those of you that are on my channel understand Dr. Michael Mann, who is a climate scientist, and he's a big lefty. Well, Michael Mann today said on X, and he used to block me, and he unblocked me. I
We
don't
call
know.
it Twitter on Left Past 10.
All right. Twit
It's in the
X.
contract.
I call it TwitX, whatever. He used to block me because I'm a doomer. He
Listen.
unblocked me. And he said today to George Monbiot, who wrote a thing that says we're so fucked. And that's what Michael Mann said. So I put my pictures up on X of my hats, the hats that say WASF. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to make those hats and everybody can get one if they want. I found it.
Boomer Supreme merch.
Yeah, I've never wanted to do that merch shit. I made the coffee cups and I always mailed them out myself, but I can't do that. So this time I got a company, Matt. I did start it. I already started doing this a couple weeks ago for coffee cups because I don't want to have to mail them out myself anymore. And everybody asked me, they like the logo, So now I'm going to do the hats because they fit. If Michael Mann is saying we are so fucked, and he is the climate scientist that has more hopium than anyone in the world, he's author and everything else. If he's saying it, I'm ready to make the hats and sell them.
And if you don't do the production or distribution, you probably don't have to pay retail tax.
Okay, I don't want to
Retailer
make.
tax.
I'm really not looking to make any money. Anything
They
I'm ever
still
looking
charge
for,
you.
guys, I know, and I can't really, I think that my new thing is if anybody wants to donate anything extra than what they already do, it's cat food and cat litter, and send it because that's really what I need.
Who else?
Yes, he did.
Who else blocked you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was
It was a
Michael
mistake,
Mann.
right?
Yeah, it's Sam Cedar. I have
That
no
fucking
idea.
bitch. Now here's the
Why?
question
Why?
for
I
Matt.
don't
Did
know
you
why.
ask him? You were out there in a V. Oh.
It wasn't that kind of thing. He was out of there before the show was over. He left to go.
I
to
have
Worcester.
no idea. I thought
yeah.
does Sam not like Doomers either, like Michael Mann? But Michael Mann unblocked me because now I'm with the Climate Crisis Club, and those are people that are all over the world talking about things that can be done, even though it might. For me, the big picture is I know we are pretty much fucked, but these people are inspiring, and I really enjoy it. And he unblocked me because I guess I'm not ultra doomy anymore.
Where did this happen?
Where
did you
what
say
happen?
that you heard this comment? You said that
It was on X that George Monbiot said it. He said he made a comment about we're so fucked, and then Michael Mann picked it up and said we are so fucked. Now those people that follow me know that Michael Mann is, he's like the real, he's the Democratic climate scientist from where's he from? Penn State, that all of the talk shows have on, and he writes books called Our Fragile Moment, and he used to really talk bad about doomers, and I've never been somebody that advocated for humanity to die off tomorrow. You can know the bigger picture, but he blocked me, and I was like, what did I write that he blocked? But he unblocked me, so he might reblock me now that I put those hats on.
Okay, but are they saying that Sam Cedar had a rant about Trump?
I don't know. Oh, no, that was my Sam.
Oh.
Sam from Collapse Chronicles, who is definitely a doomer. Yeah, definitely a doomer. Yeah.
I mean, if you're not a doomer, you're just fucking stupid. You're just fucking dumb. You're naive. You're a fucking clown. Like, what do you think we're gonna wield a magic wand and undo this? It's over. There's fucking Donald Trump's gonna bring us the fucking 5C warming within a fucking 200 years. It's fucking over. It's done. We're all gonna fucking die. The only people that are going to survive are the rich and like bubbles on the fucking Marianas Trench.
And they're
then
not going
call
to survive.
me.
And we're going to
Joker.
We're going to 3.1
because
anyway.
I'm ready to go full Legion of Doom here. I'm looking forward to our supervillain arc. I'm looking forward to us being in a swamp, in a dome that's somehow sinister shaped. We're coming up with plans for how to make the far right extremist Republican governor of some town get eaten alive by his own party because we seduced him with a trans gal. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, nice. We are so effed, yeah. But I think it'll be fun. I think us sitting around coming up with plans to be subversive, hell yeah. Jake is definitely going on a list now. I'd be disappointed if I didn't wind up on a list by the end of this.
A list.
Well,
didn't we already talk
gonna be
about
on a list because I'm fucking here. So.
I've been on lists since I was in 7th grade, and Nixon came through my town. I've probably been on some kind of stupid list, but yet I passed the background check in New York, so obviously I'm not on any list. That's too bad. I guess. So you saw that. So I'm going to put I'll put the little logo, the ECH logo, and I don't want to make any money. Like I said, I just want everybody to have a hat now. I decided since I put it on, he said we're so fucked. And my people know exactly what I'm talking about. They do. Oh my goodness. What I'm also worried about is what's going to happen in Palestine on January 7th, and it makes me sick to think what is going to happen. Netanyahu already is probably so happy.
He is. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Saddle Tramp. Oh.
He already reached out, and he's really happy.
I know.
There's a story that he used to crash in Jared Kushner's bedroom, like childhood bedroom, when he would stay with them.
Probably they all knew each other, wasn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
Sort of a New Yorker, kind of anyway.
But here's the fucking other thing is that you have to understand about this is that all this fucking shit you're seeing about Palestine, you're not going to see it anymore.
No,
you're not going to see the fucking dead bodies. They're going to censor it. They're gonna not let anybody fucking. There's
Yeah,
no journalists left
free
in fucking
speech-
Gaza. They're
free
gonna delete
speech
all the
word.
fucking videos on the internet. So whatever these images that you have in your brain, you need to keep them with you for the rest of your fucking life on this planet, because these people are going to get fucking destroyed and their lives are going to be gone for good. They're going to be unwritten from the history books. They're gone.
Harvey J.K., this is what I reposted. He said, without drawing on the history I obsess about, here's what I think happened, or rather did not happen in the past 4 years. The Dems did not raise the minimum wage, did not fight to secure the PRO Act, did not fight the billionaires, even rhetorically, did not prosecute the leader of January 6th, did not pass the highly touted Build Back Better, did not fight corporations aggressively on inflation, did not push Biden to step aside early in the year, did not even project a vision of a 21C economic Bill of Rights by calling for health care for all. So now he lays it out on X, Harvey J.K., that you can bullet point all those things, Matt, because Matt works with him, and that's what these books are going to be about. And these books might even have to be underground. Who knows?
Oh, that'll be fun.
I don't think I'm being alarmist. And I don't think it's hyperbole. I do think things are going to change in a way that we're just.
And these motherfuckers, can you believe that they fucking did this shit and we all watched? And this is when I fucking said, I remember having a fucking goddamn temper tantrum meltdown in 2022 when the Republicans took the House, because that's when it was fucking over. That's when the game set match was done, because then Democrats were fucking locked, and Americans are so fucking stupid they're going to blame the Democrats for everything Republicans are going to fucking do.
But wait.
It's a fucking nightmare.
But wait, Trump is going to take office. And there are going to be catastrophic weather events. Now, let's see what happens. Are they?
Who cares? They're all going to fucking die. Trump's going to kill them all.
Blame Trump. Are they going? Yeah, but these are his people. Are
they're going to blame Trump, and then what? They're going to go blame Trump and then go home and then sit on their lazy boy and look at their smartphone.
No, they won't have a lazy boy because
and they're fucking going to die. They're going to get fucking round up by the cops for being homeless, and then who cares if they blame Trump? They're fucking
weather
dead.
Machine.
Yeah.
All the bullshit they say now about the elections are rigged. Right. We win.
Right.
The hurricanes or Democrats have a machine.
Right.
But we don't.
Right. So let's see what's going on. I am actually really interested to see once these catastrophic events happen, and they will under this Trump administration, how they bumble it, how people suffer, and they are going to start seeing how bad they really are, how they don't care about.
That will be one element of this which will be fun to watch. Watching dictator Trump utterly fuck up everything. Now look, people are going to be dying because of it. It's also going to be immensely sad. But it will be fun to watch him be unable to handle literally any of the things he brings down upon us.
Okay. I'm going to read a quote, a tweet to you. You tell me if and how it's controversial. Okay?
Okay. I like this.
Or unless it isn't.
Okay. Max,
we're playing a game.
Max the dog here.
Max, you swoop hard.
We must not.
He doesn't know that Donald Trump's gonna fucking kill us. This guy doesn't know. He has no idea that we're gonna fucking get killed, and he's gonna fucking be fucking shot when the cops show up because he's gonna bark at them.
House, and I'm going to give. You're gonna be in my. You're gonna live with me, and I'm gonna take care of you.
Okay, listen to this.
Hit me.
Hi, Jim.
We must not delude ourselves in this moment.
Okay.
Multiracial democracy in the United States is less than 60 years old. It has always been contested, often violently so. It has always been fragile. Since this nation's inception, large swaths of white Americans, including white women, have claimed a belief in democracy while actually enforcing a white ethnocracy. Ethnocracy. In the face of shifting demographics where white Americans will lose their numeric majority, we see a growing embrace of autocracy to keep the legitimate, quote-unquote, rulers of this country in power. History teaches us that we are in a perilous moment.
Okay.
Not at all controversial.
Okay, here's what Anna Kasparian said.
Ah!
Oh, no. We're going to give the little
I hope this fucking
All right,
This
wait. Let's hear what.
Well, let's hear what you
let's
said.
hear
first.
this
is a good setup,
because
right?
that was not controversial.
Said
That was
this
a good
shit is
setup.
delusional. Why is it okay to be this openly bigoted?
Really? She did.
We gotta give
You
her
know what?
credit,
Okay,
man. She really picked the right time to
I'm
be a
gonna be
traitor.
honest with you. Anna Kasparian was smart. She did her fucking jump to the right before everything went
Right.
down. Now they're gonna
Yeah.
fucking let her live in this new fucking hell world. So you know what?
Yeah.
It might be
Well
clever,
played,
but it
man.
was smart.
I gotta
I've
be
got
honest
it.
with
I've
you.
got it.
Good fucking job. You did it. Good fucking job. I hope it was
Good
worth
job,
it.
traitor. Yep. Yep.
Anyway,
There's
that's a
nothing
good
wrong
game,
with
right?
it.
On that note, I would like to announce that I
There's
voted for
nothing
Donald
wrong.
Trump. I'm the one good tranny. Come on, man. Come on.
That
Please
was not openly
don't kill me.
bigoted. Oh my God. She's saying this was bigoted?
Andrea, you look.
Okay.
I don't want to be ableist or whatever, but you are passing. If you're gonna betray the left, you gotta go full bore and just be like, I'm not a what? No.
You're
I'm
right.
just a nice
But
church
it's
lady.
too late. It's over.
Okay, which state has just elected its first transgender
Delaware?
House of Representatives
Delaware.
member?
Delaware.
I'm gonna pretend like I also knew it was Delaware, obviously.
Thanks, Joe
I
Biden.
knew it was Delaware. Yeah. I
Iowa.
saw it. What? It
Oh,
was Delaware. I saw that
no.
today. It was Delaware.
This
All right.
is another
Get outta
one.
here. Oh, okay.
Well, Delaware
Oh,
was the first
represent.
one.
All right. Let
Nice.
me
Amy Witchendall.
Delaware. Okay. You all know my stepmom was trans. So I mean, my daughter grew
I
up
did
with
not know that.
Oh, my step grandma, my stepmother, my father's partner after my father divorced my mother was trans. So that's my daughter grew up with a trans.
Emphasis on was
Grandma.
because that's how they're going to talk about all of us in the next fucking 10 years.
Well, she's still alive. She's now a
Oh.
theologian, and she's in the
Oh,
LGBT.
fucking thanks a lot. Thanks a lot
I
for being a fucking
know. What could-
theologian. Jesus fucking
I
Christ.
know.
Jump fucking ship.
Delaware State Senator Sarah McBride is headed to Washington and will be the first openly trans member.
They're
of
probably going to
Congress.
fucking kill Sarah McBride in the middle
Oh
of
my
fucking Congress on live
God.
television. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I feel so sorry for her having to be around those motherfuckers. Holy fucking Jesus goddamn Christ.
It's
It's gonna be insane.
yeah, I know. Andrea,
Start
I
small.
love you
Local
so
government.
much.
Infiltrate.
I know I
on
live in
board
the
with
red
any party
area,
that'll
but
have you. Steal their money. Remember that now we don't have to pull any punches. There's no such thing as a friend if they've got an R or a D next to their name. There's only marks. We're going to infiltrate these pricks and be a coalition of people. So we need to refer to the Underground Railroad with our group. And that's what we'll be.
and publish
name, I
things.
mean.
We're gonna have to publish things in paper. I can see it coming. I do. And Matt,
Yeah.
you're like the leader on that because you already use paper as your medium.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
loves
we're in
paper.
luck
I'm
here.
digital. What are you talking
He's
about?
big on
No,
paper.
but you
He-
stop it. He's big on paper. We're gonna have to watch the trees though. That's gonna
You know
just be
what's
more
funny?
trees coming down. Time to go
When
walk.
I type,
yeah.
I'm pretty good. Grammar, spelling. You see me try and pronounce things out loud.
We have come on. I'm
You should
terrible.
see me write by hand. I'm like, what is this letter supposed to look like? Can't do it.
I
Oh.
love writing by hand. It's such a magical experience. I take a lot of
I
time and
did.
effort and
I
everything.
wrote out
I do
a
too.
few
man.
hundred postcards this season.
Oh,
Every letter is art.
Proposition
when you're
1.
writing.
Mail them.
That's why I hate cursive because it takes out the expression.
I like that.
what?
I
I
like-
love cursive.
Yeah.
Cursive is I like the style of cursive, but I don't like the enforcement mechanisms of having like one stroke for the whole word. Like, give me a fucking break here.
Yeah, that
So you can
I'm the
make
same
it
way. with
creative
that.
how
I
you
agree.
like it. Mm-hmm.
I like all the fancy loops though.
So what did you guys cover when I wasn't here early?
Oh, we covered we're all gonna fucking die. Specifically me
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And
about the
it's pretty bad. Maybe
show
some of us
last
will
night.
escape Canada. That'd be pretty cool. Letterhack went to some podcast show. That was pretty cool. He sat in the VIP section, which because he's like, he's super
You're a
important,
VIP.
I guess.
He's a
He
VIP.
literally elevated above everyone else, and then they all like got up and clapped for him, I guess. Okay, sure, whatever. We're all supposed to believe this or whatever. There's like
You
evidence
have that
from
clip? I hope
deep
he
fake
puts it
evidence, I
on
guess.
the
I don't know.
It is clipped.
Ew, Joe Biden already called Donald Trump to congratulate him on
Joe
the election.
Biden's fucking goddamn. I
Why?
just don't even I don't
Why
even want to hear this
Why did
motherfucker's
she
name.
concede? Why did she
Fuck Joe
concede
Biden,
so
man.
early
Jesus
when there
fucking
were
Christ.
problems? Why did she concede when there's issues?
There was
Because she's a
in-
fucking loser. She's a fucking loser.
Was
She's
it
a dumb,
Milwaukee?
fucking loser.
There was in Milwaukee around
Georgia,
like
Milwaukee,
5 or
other-
6 o'clock. Somebody was counting votes and the door was open. And so someone said, we got to close that door and start over. Because the door was open.
Yeah, but there were bomb threats. There was all kinds of stuff. I thought she
Russia
should have
specifically,
waited a
it was
few
like
mo-
all
yeah,
the bomb threats in Georgia were
know.
Russian IP numbers.
the
Like they just
FBI
fucking did the most populous districts. And again, because Kamala Harris is a fucking loser, all the Democrats,
I
the do
don't
nothing Democrat
understand.
losers, they're not gonna fight at all. At all.
Nothing.
Just like 2000, they're gonna throw it in the fucking garbage. Even though I guarantee you, in Atlanta, in fucking Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, they're burning the ballots right now. I guarantee you, they're dumping them in incinerators. All these mail-in ballots, all these
And you know,
Democrat-leaning county ballots, they're
right?
dumping them into fucking
and
incinerators right now and
Trump-
laughing at us.
Trump said it.
Insane.
He said it. He told them they didn't have to worry about it. I mean, he did. There's something terrible going on, and I am not, the conspiracy theorist here. It just doesn't seem like, yeah, Russia. Jim's with us.
The
My
fucking the
Jamessa,
conspiracy theory is to
Georgia.
believe whatever the fucking narrative is that the fucking media and the fucking two-party system is telling us. That's the fucking conspiracy theory. Oh, Kamala Harris is going to continue the fight next. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah,
She's going
what
to be on the
fight?
first plane
Yeah,
out of
that's
here
right.
when shit gets bad.
What
absolutely.
fight? Yeah, what fight? I mean, that's the thing. Of course, when she says fight, what if how are we even going to fight if we can't even protest?
There's no more. Yeah, you're going to go to a protest? That's done. That's a done, dead strategy. I'm sorry. Walking
Well,
through the street with a
until
megaphone.
till
You think that's going to
January.
convince anybody? Are you fucking stupid?
But
Are
those
you
top cities
dumb?
are.
Protesting is done. If you go out, yeah, I disagree with this. That's fucking, what are we doing? Are we children here? That fucking never worked. It never will work. It's a waste of fucking time. We're putting a fucking target on our back. We're trying to make ourselves fucking feel better when we go out there with our fucking megaphones and our fucking drum lines and all this fucking horse shit.
And I did
Setting up our
so much of
encampments,
that.
doing all this dumb fuck shit
God
that doesn't
damn.
fucking matter whatsoever. It's fucking waste of
Well,
goddamn time.
It actually worked back in the day when we were fighting for pro-choice to keep that legal and safe, and it did work.
Well,
it
we're on
did
the other
work.
we're on the
I
other side
know.
of it. So
I know.
What do you-
I know.
What do you
I
think
actually
about-
think. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say, I think Andrea's got a point, and I think all of these problems come from the same place that the solution will come from, which is most of America. We learned, at least close to most of America, that's willing to vote, decided that they believe the nonsense, the blatant lies of the far right. That's always been the main enemy. We got to sniff that out, and we've got to learn how to counter it. You're right. Protests, they don't sway people like they used to for various reasons we could
I know I'm
speculate
showing
on.
my age.
No,
my
not. I mean,
I know
up
my kid
until-
was little. I took her in the stroller to DC.
No,
for a
my
protest.
point, Sandy, is that I was of the belief that they worked too until very recently. But the fact is, as of this election, we can now say, okay, that didn't sway folks, and we're not going to be able to keep trying to make the Democrats or whatever opposition party there is to the fascists into something that people will accept as long as they're buying this misinformation. So that's what we need to be attacking, is the misinformation. They'll vote to expel. I'm sorry, I thought you wanted me to read that.
I was going to say, look at this last sentence, though.
Nadia Yvette Chambers, thank you, by the way, for the super chat. They'll vote to expel McBride from the House, barring reliance on arrest and imprisonment in general. I can chime in about fleeing the country if need be also. I've got dirt on surveillance, too. Yeah, that's something I intend to start doing. Let's start blackmailing officials. Whoops, I didn't say that to you guys. I mean, that's something I'm not going to start doing.
Oh, shit. Oh, Hellvine said that protesting worked before social media. So obviously, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I can testify I was like around when there was
But that's the
push
thing
button
about social
phones.
media is people like social media. It's confirmed. It kills your fucking goddamn brain cells.
Obviously,
When you're
it did.
scrolling it, you literally just like imagine. We're all, I assume, most of us are free thinking to some degree here, right? Like, but most people scrolling, they're not. They read shit and that becomes their opinion. Then they refresh. Then whatever pops up, that's their opinion. Then they refresh. Then whatever pops up, that's their fucking opinion. They don't fucking think for themselves. Oh, what did my favorite person say? Oh, what did my favorite person say? Oh, I'm going to outsource all my thinking to these paid for actors that are in charge of fucking everything. They don't fucking know how to think. Literacy rates are so horrible, not to mention how COVID is destroying everyone's fucking brain. The kids are getting dumber and dumber and dumber. They don't know how to fucking read. Kids don't know how to operate cell phones. They don't know how to operate fucking any sort of computers whatsoever. They don't understand technology. The kids have been sheltered from any sort of education or learning about anything whatsoever. All they know how to do is scroll and upvote and scroll because that's all they're designed to do. They're good. They're like fucking factory workers in the factory of fucking super neo fucking AI capitalism.
What about all the
crass am I
kids
allowed
that
to
are
go?
homeschooled? I mean, obviously that movement is homeschooling. So these parents are teaching these kids homeschool. They're not using those methods, but they're also using what? What are they using? Christian stuff or
Well,
what
they're
is it?
lacking social skills, so they're not gonna
Yeah.
be able to like execute.
You know what?
Yeah,
you know
we're
what?
gonna-
As an autistic
No
ass
science.
motherfucker here, I'm gonna say, you know what? Social skills. I don't think that the
Outside-
majority has social skills. Let's be honest here. You know, like if the majority normal person here, the normal, well-adjusted, I went to public school,
They
motherfucker. If that's the
will-
default standard for social skills, give me a
No,
fucking
they
break.
will operate in groups only, which isn't a good thing. But like individually,
It can be a good thing. It depends.
No, I'm saying if you're brainwashing somebody in a church or a cult, they operate best with the group, not individually.
Absolutely.
Like they'll crumble to pressure pretty quickly, or peer pressure.
Everyone crumbles to fucking
interrogation.
peer pressure.
But like within the group, it's a mob mentality. So I was gonna raise this point: when can we begin exposing, making fun of, just put on fucking display the people we refer to as Democratic consultants and campaign
I'm
consultants.
gonna be honest with you.
Who
Like,
are
I
they?
mean, these
Yeah.
Who are they?
motherfuckers, like,
I want
they know what they've
names.
done. They know what they've done. They're gonna
Who
run
are
out the
they?
back door with the fucking big sacks of cash while we all
They
get
make
fucking
bank,
fried in the
they
goddamn
push
ovens.
Right. Insider
they?
trading, that has to stop, but it's never going to stop either.
Who
And
are
that
they?
was who are they?
Yeah.
How come-
I
We know
think
How
who
come
they
they're not
started
doing
with.
punditry the rest of the time?
Okay.
How come we don't know their name? Do we know their names? Am I
I'm
wrong?
looking it
Can
up.
someone in the chat?
I mean,
You could look them up.
I'm looking.
they
it up.
they are listed, like who the campaigns were working
Frank
with. I
Luntz.
believe.
Frank
available.
Luntz started
How come
it
they're
all.
Yeah.
not on fucking blast?
Yeah, they should be. And I think, generally speaking, at least for my part, I'm going to start focusing on making a lot of content which exposes these people for what they are.
All right.
I
Who
think
are
that
they?
can only be healthy.
That content's not gonna fucking exist in
Yeah,
February.
I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know, and I keep thinking about that. So if I don't have a show and I live out here in the boonies and I don't have a partner and I have cats, and then they're going to start probably changing what we can consume on Netflix and all that because they want to ban porn so you can't see boobs. So what
I mean,
Physical media. I mean,
Growing
if you know, this is the other
vegetables
thing is they're trying to replace physical media. They don't want you to experience art. I want like this is something this is
Yeah.
because this is all we got now. We're all gonna fucking die. So might as well spend the rest of your life like watching the movies that make you happy, listening to the music that makes you happy, because they're trying to take it away from you. They want to fucking AI generate fucking everything. They want to replace everything. They want to restrict everything at any time. They want to take your ability to play any video game anytime. Like they want to restrict your ability to watch certain movies. They want to be able to change the scenes in movies from day to day to day to day. Oh, 1 month later, 1 year later, now there's the same movie, but now that scene's removed, that scene's altered. So this is why they don't want physical media. They don't want you to like just see art. They don't like art. Like this is the thing. And this is what the Nazis understood, which is why they tried to create their own art, which was awful. But now the AI is going to be able to replace, outnumber any sort of real art. Like again, if it's like 999 million thousand fucking quadrillion AI pieces of trash versus one actual decent fucking movie made by a team of human beings that care, how is anyone going to find that? They're not.
Oh, I have an answer for that. A website that only accepts submissions from human beings.
Well, who's going to find that website?
Who's going to find it? I don't know. Shared by word of mouth.
All right, wait.
Okay,
Here's top 3 strategists.
We got to start leaving USB drives full of like just genuine information and art. Just leave them around town.
porn.
Throw them in. Sure, why not? Throw them in like the fucking
Here's
telephone
some-
pole. You know, like
Here's
like
some
this.
names. Here's some
Just leave them
names.
everywhere.
Sunday schools,
SD cards.
just porn magazines. Throw them into the church, drive off. I'm gonna
What
fucking
name?
do
Oh my
that.
God.
Andy.
These are questions they asked Patty Solis Doyle, who ran Hillary Clinton's 2008 primary, Robbie Mook, who I know, Mook, who ran Clinton's 2016, and Stuart Stevens, a lead strategist in Mitt Romney's 2012, all losers. So why are they asking the Politico? Can Harris pull off a victory in 3 months? Strategists lay out how. Well, how? 3 losers. 3 losers.
I still think
for losing campaigns. What the fuck?
those campaigns or this campaign, in my opinion, did as well as it could be asked to do in terms of making decisions that seemed sound at the time, given the utter fucking disgrace of the Democrats. That's what they were trying to sell.
She could have
And
said,
also, whatever this is that the right wing has for it, that lets their voters live in an alternate reality. The fact that we didn't address those two things, that's what killed us.
But don't you think Harris could have said "Free Palestine" at every rally, and it would be the exact
It wouldn't have fucking
results?
mattered. Americans don't
Yeah.
give a fuck
That's where
about
we're at.
Palestine.
Yeah, but
she could have been saying we are going to destroy Israel. Israel's going to be nuked on the fucking. It doesn't matter how left she goes. There is no left in the country. That's the other thing about leftists. They and us too, like myself, all of us. We think we can genuinely have like a real heart-to-heart conversation about logic. We can use facts and convince people of something. No, that's not how it fucking works. We can't just fucking have a genuine, real conversation and actually discuss the things at hand. That's not possible. There's
We
no
do it on
secret
Saturdays.
sentence. There's no secret combination of words that's going to convince someone to not vote for neo-Nazi 75.
I think there is. I truly think there is, but they
Really?
have to.
And, I mean,
Yeah.
even after Trump, he won. Millions of people voted for him after he said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, after he looked like he was giving a Mike a blowjob. I mean, come on. What Americans want is they just want to be entertained. That's all they are. They don't have any, like Andrea always says.
He's
there's
exciting.
he's exciting. God, it's disgusting. But it's all impulsive, instant gratification. And he is an expert marketer salesman. That's all he was ever good at, but he couldn't sell Trump steaks. He didn't sell any of his products, but he could sell.
Let's be clear. He is not an expert marketing salesman. He's a failure at that. He has the ability. I'm trying really hard not to give him full credit, even for this. He has the ability to make stupid people feel like that's okay.
Mm,
He's not telling
Yeah.
them that. They feel it.
It's
He knows they
telepathically
feel it, and
communicated.
he leans into it every fucking time he talks.
We
Yeah,
have some
he's
funny ass people out there. Bila, he won because he has amazing ear healing abilities.
Bannon had it correct. Steve Bannon had it correct. Ultimately, this is a culture war. And what you guys are saying, all of that just comes from the fact. Like when you're describing these voters and they didn't care about this and that and the other thing.
The
yeah,
culture war
they
is over. They won.
come
It's
from
over.
a poison culture. The culture war is renewed every single day. Every day.
Okay, but
Hold on.
I
We got to
disagree.
clear something up real
what-
quick.
okay.
Real quick. We are not doing analysis. This is
No.
processing.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
processing.
I'm this is like essentially just like, you know, my goodbye
so-
speech. Like
We're
this is
free
fucking
no,
The
you're not.
show is
We're
for
free associating.
letting it
That's what we're
go.
doing. Right.
Yeah.
Tune into our individual shows.
Yeah.
Speaking for myself anyway,
Yes.
where it's a lot more scripted and
Of course.
not off the cuff.
Of
Yeah.
course.
This is
Just for
this is
anybody.
Hal sitting around the table with a mountain of
Right.
If this was the 80s, there'd be a mountain of cigarette butts.
And
we'd be
I'm
like-
working with Zero PE on that kind of stuff. We're working on
yeah.
it. He proposed a show concept and we're working on
Great.
that behind the scenes.
That's cool. Well, this show is not that. We are free associating and we just converse and there's nothing formal and we don't feel stress over the fact, oh my God, we got to do left past 10 and all. No, we don't do that.
Do you have your notes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've told my wife so many times. She's like, "Do you have a show tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's left past 10." I'm not really sweating it at all.
No, because and I love it because I'm not running it. I don't
Okay,
have
but-
to worry. Yeah.
But you were gonna say something beforehand, before I interrupted. I'm
always
sorry.
going to say something and then it goes away.
It really is unscripted.
Oh, the religious war that Rollins switch. Alan said that
I
it's this
fucking
part of
hate
a religion.
religion.
It's a part
I
of a
fucking
religious
hate
war.
all of these religious
He
motherfuckers.
said it's just getting started. The religious war
Just
is
if
getting started.
you just
No,
I just want to say this. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
sorry,
not
you
an
can say it.
atheist, you're a fucking idiot and you're part of the problem. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit, man. The Christians go fuck
that.
yourselves. The Muslims go fuck yourselves.
Even
The
the
fucking
atheists are
people
pretty obnoxious.
worshiping the fucking Israeli government go fuck yourselves. This garbage, man. Jesus
Religious
fucking
supremacy.
goddamn Christ.
Yeah, but there's people that are spiritual that don't
Spiritual
have
is
those.
fine. That's not
cult-
religion. Following Jesus is not spirituality. Fucking sucking the dick of a Catholic fucking church is not spirituality. That's the exact opposite of spirituality. Spirituality is being
Convictions
grounded
in
in the
same
human
church.
experience and our connection to nature. Spirituality is looking at the fucking trees and just crying because of their pure beauty.
Well, then
That's
those are the people
spirituality.
that follow
Spirituality
me.
is not going to fucking church and voting for Nazi Hitler. That's not spirituality. And these people are fucking freaks. Anyone that's ever whitewashed religion in any form, I mean, come on. Like, as a trans person, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, every religious person I've ever met, insane. They will lie to your face. They will say, oh, I love you, Jesus loves you. And then you find out next week that they fucking voted for Hitler. You know, like, they don't care. They don't fucking care. The religious fucking, there's no saving for fucking religion. All of it is fucking dumb. Jesus. I'm sorry to go off that. But I
That's
mean,
all
they're
right.
gonna kill me, so I mean, I might as well get my piece out. So
Andrea, God, stop.
don't
I
say God around me.
Gosh, gosh, I want you to come to me. I
I
see that.
genuinely mean it when I say we will break what rules they make to
I
keep
hope.
you safe, my friend.
Mm. Everything is, yeah.
Oof.
I mean, we're very emotional right now. We still have how many months before, 2 months before the changeover. And, you know, I mean, I know things are not good. Here's this was the one I was,
Oh yeah.
and I'm saying, don't look up on this one. Don't look up. Yep. Don't look up. Oh God. Well, you know what I did the morning of after we had our little show and I slept, I went across the street and I went and played with my neighbor's horses. And that
Ah.
was like, that's always, it's when I can go play with the horses, that's always like a therapeutic thing for me. But
Yeah.
I'm very lucky where I live. That's the thing. I could go over there and not think about things for a half an hour, or whatever.
Yeah.
John says these people are not Christians, Andrea. That's right. They're not Christians.
I don't give
Not
a shit about this whole they're not
hijack.
real Christians. All
They
Christians are
hijack.
evil. They're all evil. I don't give a fuck. There's no thing to hijack. That's like hijacking the fucking terror. Like that's like the terrorists hijack the plane, and then you hijack the terrorists to do the same fucking thing. All religion is bad. I'm gonna get fucking killed, or I'm gonna have to flee, and I'm never gonna fucking be on the internet again. So I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm sorry,
All
Luann.
Christianity is bad. If you're a good Christian, you're evil. You're a disgusting piece of shit for even convincing anyone whatsoever that Jesus had anything whatsoever at all to do with helping us. I'm sorry. Just fucking fuck all of these people. Fuck them to death. Fuck them because they're going to get us killed.
But that's not gonna
we're
help.
already dead. So I
It's
mean,
not
whatever.
gonna help you tonight.
There's nothing to help. It's gonna help me
let's-
because I love shitting on Christians. I'll tell you
But
this.
here,
Right.
I'm just saying this for your sake, Andrea, on your behalf.
Okay.
Animals make me
Don't give the universe any ideas.
right.
Try to, I'm not saying suppress it, but in processing it, let's find like another level of talking about it. And because I don't want it to bear down on you like that. I don't want you to blanket yourself in pure doom, right?
Well,
and if there's no silver
pure
lining,
doom.
then
But I mean,
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but-
filtering all of my doom
Hey,
here.
you
know,
did
you
I,
got to
have-
take care of your dog and you got to take care
Yeah.
of yourself, and we can't be there with you, so it's stressful, you
And
know.
what
Yeah.
was the one thing you said last night that was the positive? It was about Bitcoin or some crap.
oh yeah, that went up like I
yeah,
can
and
maybe buy another
that's-
Krillin animation stuff.
yeah. I mean, so you are at
Look,
least you
this is
have
what it comes down
interest,
to.
and you'll have you'll have some funds to do something with.
Well, that's the
when you
thing.
need
Like,
to.
even if I get out, like, I thank you all for helping me, but okay, maybe I'll survive. But there's been thousands of reported suicides in the last 36 hours. They're not going to fucking survive. Like there's been like if you follow the suicide rate of the
Oh my
like it's
God.
just gone up. Someone asked about it earlier, but like it's just
I
like
didn't know that.
there's a lot of trans people that are writing suicide notes on social media. Like people are killing themselves like all over the place. It's like maybe I'll be fine, possibly. Okay, sure. But there's going to be thousands of people out there that won't be fine. If you're in Tennessee, you're dead. If you're not going to kill yourself now, they're going to kill you or you're going to kill yourself later. Literally, there's no way out. It's even if I can get out, that's great. But it's like, it's crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
I just said
There's no way around it. This is going to be a
crisis
this is going to be a brutal
hotline
time.
uptick. Right. Crisis hotline.
I mean, I
uptick.
appreciate that I'm a Christian and Andrea is correct, but why are you a fucking Christian? What are you talking about? I'm a Christian and Andrea is correct. What the fuck? Renounce Jesus right the fuck now. God is
hold
not
on. Maybe
fucking
they're
real.
on
It's
the
a bunch of horse
correct
shit.
path.
Yeah.
I don't
Don't
know.
discourage them from seeing it through. Okay.
Well, I mean, we don't have time to fucking see it through. God's not fucking real. Where the fuck is this motherfucker? Where is he? Come on, man. Look fucking around you. What?
I know.
No, I had that thought because when they put Jesus in the MAGA hat, it seems so absurd. But
Of course it is.
in theory, I mean, from their
The
point
MAGA
of
hat's going to
view,
be the next fucking
he kinda
cross
is
people
on
there
their side.
around their neck.
that's not that crazy if you're one of those people to believe that. Nothing bad is happening. I mean, it is, but you can start to like kind of, you won't allow yourself to be written into a corner. It's like in comic books when they kill off characters and you're like, oh my God. And they're like, oh, we're going to bring them back. How? Well, I don't know yet. We'll do it. You can just figure this shit out later. So it's like, Jesus is MAGA? I don't think so. And they're like, they figured it out. It's fine. They made it work.
Yeah.
But look, it's unfair to say it, but I want you to be okay, Andrea,
Yeah.
like in the immediate, you know what I mean?
I mean, I'll be immediately okay. Like, don't worry about me. I got the situation. I'm not going to be one of those at this
There's
moment.
a good video that I got to go back and rewatch from the New Evangelicals. It's titled "Now What." It just came out today.
Okay. Yeah, you
Now
had
what?
them.
You burn down the fucking church and just
You
say
had
what the
them
fuck is
on.
this horse shit. There is no new.
And that they're kind of doing that. But if
I hope
you
so, man.
if you scroll through at least my YouTube page, the homepage, if you scroll through, people are already just getting clicks and ad revenue from Trump being president, and it is so gross to me. I can't take it. It's all these yellow fonts. Trump wins. We're doomed.
Hey,
Trump
hey,
wins.
hey,
What the
hey,
fuck?
hey!
Like,
I
nah.
use the yellow font. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah,
What
and
the
also,
fuck?
for
Don't be
fuck's sake,
shitting on the
get with-
yellow font users out here.
First of all, I
I'm a fan.
apologize to my audience, the ladies in my audience who have got to replace their panties after seeing Matt's arms just then. But
What?
the
What did I do?
You're weird, Jake. You're the weird.
for sure, thank you for acknowledging it. But no, if you can make money off this effing tragedy, by all means, it's
But
more
that's-
resources.
Oh, you mean on
It
Andrea?
sucks.
Andrea, it's a living for her.
It's not.
really
That's
anymore.
not giving anybody resources. That's not giving anybody strategy. It's just.
I think
don't
what
know.
Jake is saying for the person making the video, like if you can just
Yeah.
make $20 off of this, like fuck it.
Yeah,
They're
if
not
the person-
convincing those people not to be that way.
if
They're
the person
exploiting
is
them.
saying Trump's going to be president and that's bad,
Alright.
and that's the topic of their video, and they make $15 off it, okay.
I
You
have
know,
something really cute that
It's gonna.
It's
It's
something-
gonna look.
to show
It's
you.
gonna have the same effect as the mainstream media.
Yeah.
It's just gonna
What's-
become like another bullshit version of quote unquote reality TV. And it normalizes it and it makes it feel like something is supposed to happen versus people who are critical and offering like, genuine analysis. The opposite of this show.
Yeah.
I
I mean, let's be
I
honest.
think we
What the
got
fuck
enough
analysis? Like, there's nothing to there's no analysis. There's no one single
Good
way.
point.
There's no magical fucking like. We're fucked. We're fucked. This is a tornado of death spinning at us. There's no secret way. If we understand this election in the specific way, we're gonna make
I agree,
no,
man.
it's
I'm done
over.
with
The
it.
time for analysis was in 2020, 2016. That was the time for
Right.
motherfucking analysis. Now it's fucking over.
You see what Adam Kissinger or what's
Kinzinger?
Kinzinger.
What happened? No.
Somebody said essentially on Twitter that you should, maybe this whole like shifting to the right to try and get right wingers to come to the center wasn't a great idea. Maybe embracing the military wasn't a great idea. Immigration, right wing policies. And then he retweeted it with fingers pointing down, going, "This is how you lose in 2028."
There is no
Like,
fucking.
just so.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Get the
God.
fuck out of here.
And he was on stage at the DNC.
Ugh.
So I'm just
Wow.
saying, like, those things literally lost yesterday.
I just the whole campaign is a fucking joke. Like, I genuinely thought when Joe Biden was fucking thrown into the garbage that there was a chance. Like when Joe, like the whole time, literally up until, and you know what? Fuck me, I'm fucking stupid. Like I get it, like boo, fucking moron, right? But like the whole time Joe Biden was going on, I was dreading this fucking day because I knew Joe Biden was gonna lose. It was obvious. The writing was on the wall. But then Kamala came out, and it was like for a fucking week or two, it looked like, and then she chose Tim Walz, and it looked like maybe we would delay this fucking horseshit by a little bit longer, right? Like maybe, possibly, right? But it's like it was all a bunch of fucking garbage.
Well, he's not. I mean, I think the strategy was a good one choosing him.
Well, yeah,
I
up until
think
Tim Walz,
it
as soon as they
was.
chose Tim Walz, they put a muzzle on him and said, "Stop saying weird. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Be weird. Be like
you
totally
watch his-
professional. Stop
Did
going
you
on
watch
TV."
his he was doing okay in his rallies though. He wasn't
Yeah, but like
he
it's
wasn't muzzled. He wasn't
He's,
muzzled.
he's
I
the most
disagree.
favored.
He was who he
presidential-
was.
Yeah, he's like the favorite. He got VIP for everyone's favorite on average candidate, right?
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping that this nightmarish chapter ends with, I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be all kinds of wild stuff. Probably it's going to be dark, but I hope it ends with French Revolution style guillotines, guillotines, guillotines.
It ends with near-term human extinction because we're not going to
Oh yeah,
do
that's
anything
true.
We're not doing
It'll be
anything about
right
it.
before the
And that's
tsunami comes to
not something
swallow us
I
up. We're like,
should
real
It's
quick.
worth doing. If we can
laugh
get that
at.
visual as the tsunami kills us, you know what? Fuck, I'd rather look at that than the tsunami, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, right before it comes crashing down. Absolutely.
That's something we talked about
What
before you
time is
came
it?
on, Sandy. Last night,
Okay.
I think this was before, Emma Vigeland said something like, "Oh my God, if Trump wins, the Supreme Court is going to be fully conservative for the rest of my lifetime." And Matt Lex said, "Nobody's going to outlive climate. We're going to drown and burn before."
Hey, don't
And then
worry,
I was
the
thinking
world's
the
ending.
Supreme Court will
Well,
probably accelerate that now.
Very doomer. Yeah. It's something that we have to look at. Listen, I listened to a podcaster today. I'm not going to say who it was, and he was a lefty, but he was saying that the climate wasn't an issue. We have all these important issues, and we don't have the time to be talking about the climate change. I'm done. I'm never listening to him again because it was patently wrong. And yes, we have issues, but none of them are going to make a goddamn bit of difference without a livable
The thing is,
climate,
like
which we
climate
don't
change,
have
they want you
anyway.
all to die. They want more hurricanes. They want the poor people to get
Who's
swept
they?
away in
Now
the
you
fucking
now
the
you
Republicans, the
no,
fucking
they don't.
billionaires.
The
You
fossil
don't
fuel.
you think the
But
billionaires
they get
want a bunch
hurt.
of poor people sucking away their resources in
They get
Florida?
they
They
get
don't give a fuck. They want them all to die. If
I'm
all the
not
poor
going
people are in
that
the
far.
crosshairs, all the homeless people are in the crosshairs, disabled people, we're all going to be fucking thrown in the
Yeah, but
garbage. They don't fucking care.
I'm not going to be that conspiratorial minded because every disaster hits everybody. Did you see Mexico Beach when that hurricane hit in Florida?
I don't
And
see how
these-
Donald Trump was hurt by Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, isn't that something? Because of all the misinformation garbage flying around.
Like they somehow that benefited him. I don't
Yeah.
even fucking understand it.
I don't think
This
I don't
motherfucker's
think-
drawing Sharpies on hurricane paths, and he gets credit for fucking a hurricane. Like,
Yeah. All right.
I don't think
I'm just tempering this
Mhm.
because I just can't go where I hate the word they, and I just can't go where it's always
non-binary people
they,
thrown under the bus.
oh God, no. I mean in the conspiratorial, like the New World Order, and they want everybody dead.
Well, they is the
not-
billionaires, the Republicans, and they definitely want us dead. They want me dead anyway. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, like when they say they fucked up that Batman movie, I'm like, who the fuck is they? What are you talking? That's a lot of people. So is this controversial? Another random thought I had today. My legs are killing me. By the way, I walked way too much.
Are you in Brooklyn? You stayed
Yeah.
in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I walked
Okay.
from Red Hook to Flatbush and back today.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which seems far. Maybe people do that a lot. I don't know. Everyone's walking everywhere. But
Mhm.
is this controversial? I feel like Americans, while these are the same people for the most part who are screaming communism is bad, socialism is communism, it's all bad, it's terrible. They are done with democracy. And I think the way they would phrase it is voting is stupid, let's not do this, it's bullshit, it's
Anymore.
rigged. They don't want our traditional system of democracy. I think Americans, the voting Americans, are over it. And then what about the people who don't vote? Right? Like, I think there's a lot of Americans out there that are like, yeah, fuck it. Let it ride.
Was that the millions that didn't? There's the discrepancy between 2020
We've never had
and
everybody.
2024, but that this was another conspiracy. The Republicans said there was like, I don't know, 20 million, I'd say, less people that voted this term, but there were 20 million more in 2020. So that's proof that we rigged it in 2020, that it was actually rigged. How can
If
the
anything, it's
Democrats
fucking
rig
proof that the
anything?
Republicans did massive voter suppression. Again, 30 bomb threats in the most populous area and one of the biggest swing states. Like,
Yeah.
again, like, what the fuck? Like, we had massive voter registration. And again, if you want to argue, right, like, okay, Donald Trump won fair and square because all the new voters are super right-wing, incel, nerd, 19-year-olds. Okay, whatever. But that still doesn't make sense that there's 20 million less votes. I think that's fucking strange. I don't know about you all.
I know.
Especially how they fucking sent back a bunch of shit, like 500,000 ballots in Pennsylvania got sent back on election day, and then you get the email at like 7:59, and it's like, oh, what are you supposed to do? You got 32 seconds now to fucking send this ballot in. Like, what the fuck?
Well, but-
what are we doing here?
Okay, so democracy was on the ballot, as they say, right? And when they're doing these polls, they kept saying, "Who do you think's better on democracy?"
And Donald Trump would win. Donald Trump would win the polls on democracy.
Right, and so like his version is, it's rigged because I say so. No evidence, all been disproven. It's still rigged. I think people are just like, I think that hurts their brains, and they don't want to consider, is he wrong? Is he right? I don't give a fuck. Just put him in charge and make it. I think it's another version of make it stop. We want him to go away to make it stop.
You've got the right attitude, I think. I mean, you identified their attitude correctly. I think the vast majority of these people understand that there is complicated things happening, and they are looking to whoever will give them a simple answer with someone to blame for what's wrong. And they'll listen to 3 hours. They'll listen to a 3-hour speech that puts forward a simple, easy to understand concept, as long as it is on its face able to be summed up in like one sentence. I think our task ahead is to talk to these people and get them to see who is actually to blame. Not because it's going to have an immediate effect, but because we're gonna need allies. We're gonna need to grow our subversive movement.
And they are poisoning themselves.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Most of those people don't have enough teeth to forego fluoride as it is.
I don't even want to fucking think about this, man.
All right, Tommy has said,
Yeah,
I
I
would
hear
love
you.
to get into the boxing ring with Alex Jones. Tommy, I would love to see you in the boxing
Hell
ring.
yes.
with
I don't know
Alex
how many
Jones.
of y'all follow wellness, like social media, right? You know, I'm a health
Some.
nut-ish, so
Mhm.
I follow. And when
Some.
RFK announced he did the podcast circuit, all these wellness morons let him on
They
their
loved
show.
him.
I had to
know.
unsubscribe from like 70 different fucking channels because it's like, what the fuck are you people doing? Just
Well,
because he
James-
says
James
ketchup
Ellen-
is bad for you, all of a sudden now you're going to let him on your show to talk about vaccines and autism? What
Right.
the fuck? What
I
the
know.
fuck?
Hey, so
Yeah, and he's another one. I don't get how he's going to ever address the corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup when there's that chemical industry and those big ags donate to that party. It's like such a joke.
I have a
Then-
question.
What?
Okay.
What will we talk about on this show next week?
I mean, is there going to be a next fucking week?
Yes.
Yes.
There's going to be a next week.
You
All
see what I'm
right,
saying,
I
though?
got it then. I got it. Look, let's make the goal of next week simply to keep going. Simply to give us something to look forward to. We can do the nickname.
Do we have to
thing. Come
wait
up with your own
until
nickname.
next week? I mean, let's be honest here. Like, what the fuck?
No,
Well,
we
Well,
don't.
I've got to record an interview tomorrow with an activist.
I
and
mean, we
then
could do
I have
something
Scott
on the weekend
Saturday
too. I mean,
night.
like, you know, weeks are going to
Andrea,
be really fast. You know, if you
I
want to
would.
do any sort of that.
Specifically love to do stuff with you on the weekend. I literally already sent you a message saying let's hang out after this in the Discord.
So this is
I don't
going
have
to
it up.
be. This is going to be. Whether we mention it or not, every topic we cover going forward will be in this context.
Ugh, it's
Yeah.
tiring. I know.
Okay,
I mean, I'm just thinking about how many people are going to be fucking alive next
That
week to
is a
even listen to a video
seismic
like this.
shift. That is the landscape is permanently changed, if you ask me.
I think we need to understand the value of what we're doing here then. And I think the value is to give people that feel the way we feel about this stuff a fun thing to do once a week. And
fun
it
thing
sounds
to
silly,
do?
I don't
but
know
if
about
you're
fun.
sitting there,
This was
if you're
I can't guarantee you I can be fun. I can try.
if you're sitting there and you're looking at a minimum 4 more years of your life being in danger from these people, and probably a hell of a lot longer, and you're weighing that against, do I just want to do it tonight? But you're thinking, what do I have to look forward to in the near future? We can be one of those things. No pressure,
Right.
but I think we can be one of the reasons that somebody decides, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to wait another week.
That's the fucking
Let's see
thing.
how
Like
things
I'm not fit for this fucking role. Like I mean, I wish I was, but it's like,
Yeah, it's
That's why
quite
it's
frankly-
a group show. It's a group.
well, I mean, as
Dynamic.
the transgender representation, I know that there's trans people that look up to me, and it's like, like I'm a privileged ass. Like I might even make it. Like that's the thing. Like there's a good chance I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. But I know there's people watching this. They're not gonna fucking make it. Like their only catharsis is that someone maybe out there understands what they're going through, and it's like I just can't stop fucking thinking about this fucking horse shit.
Okay, that is valid and totally
Yeah.
understandable that this is where your head is. And look at your empathy and worrying about other people in front of you.
Well, I have the capacity to worry. That's the thing. They
No,
don't have the
you
capacity
do.
to worry. That's why so many people are fucking committing suicide tonight and yesterday night, because they don't have the capacity. They don't have it in them to worry. They don't have any light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm.
That'll be you, my friend. Greatness is being thrust upon you. We'll help.
Yeah, and this is your 3-person support team.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
that's
appreciate it.
right.
Just,
That's right.
You
you
have
know,
2 people that can offer great suggestions, and I'll tell filthy jokes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. About
you beat me
underwear.
to it.
Oh,
I was gonna say, just call Jake for sartorial stuff, and then the real stuff. Sandy and I will help you through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. That it is on X. There are some. I understand, Andrea. I really do.
It's really fucking bad.
It
And
is.
it's not right and it's not fair. Holy crap. So, okay. So the next
I-
step to be
Right.
would be if there is a way for your show to offer some solace to people, could that be a possibility?
Me?
Andrea, yes, Andrea.
I mean, I hope.
Like in the doomer community, we have collapse aware.
Like what
shows,
I'm
people
more
that-
interested in is like placing every show I've ever done on like fucking CDs and then just leaving them out and like deleting my entire fucking YouTube channel. That's what I'm fucking interested in. Like maybe pass something on. I don't know, but this fucking shit, man. Like Trump's gonna build a list of people like me that do these kinds of shows. Like I'm not convinced that this is worth dying over.
Okay. I got you.
May I offer for all out there, not hope, but an alternate perspective, because it's going to be real damned hard to find
2024 election master quest.
Yeah, when you're surrounded by the enemy, as far as the eye can see in every direction, what you have is not necessarily great news for your long-term prospects, but undeniably a target-rich environment. And I would encourage people to look forward to getting sweet, sweet revenge on as many of these motherfuckers as we possibly can. I know it's not as good.
I mean,
as
when the
building a
chaos
better
happens, when the purge goes down, Donald Trump made a joke about it, but we all know what happens with Donald Trump's jokes. Like when the purge goes down, like
think about the Mitch McConnells we can get on Trump's bad list. Think about the compromise we can spill strategically, collect and distribute. Think about all the times we can make their lives just ruin them, really ruin them. It'll be a lot of fun. Horror show.
Well, I think
but a lot of fun.
they're going to whatever administration he throws together, which is already in the works, will be concentrating on rounding up migrants.
Oh yeah, day one, they're all
That's-
fucking. But this is
that's
the thing, and I
first.
don't want to be like a little bit like I don't want to be a little bitch oppression Olympics. But at least the migrants have a country to be deported to, like the disabled people, the trans people, the gay people. We don't have a country to be deported to. We're fucking gonna get murdered. We're gonna get extracted for value. They're gonna harvest our organs and they're gonna throw us in the fucking garbage.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're going with vintage, but people are trying to figure out where to, arm up. And I used to know a guy who sold guns, and he wouldn't tell anybody his real name.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he went by T-Rex.
Oh God, I was gonna say Sharky. That's so much cooler.
No, T-Rex. He was a small arms dealer.
Oh, you son of a bitch! God.
Yeah, this
Damn
is really hard.
Look, Sandy is not. She either thinks
No, I'm
it's an
thinking of
inappropriate
it.
time for a
No,
dad joke,
I'm thinking of
or
Andrea.
she doesn't get it.
No, I didn't even listen. I'm still
Okay.
behind you, and I'm
Oh,
looking at Andrea, and my mom empathy shits,
Oh, that's fucking
and
awful.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I mean, I've been crying
I
since I
can't
woke up.
do
this
any.
morning.
I mean, I can do nothing other than offer you a place, offer you your, a place to stay where I can try to protect you. That's the only. thing
I
can
don't.
do.
That's the thing is like if it comes to that, I will take you up on the offer. But I'm not convinced that that's going to do anything other than delay the inevitable. And if that's the case, sure, let's delay the inevitable, right? But
Okay, I have that.
yeah,
I don't want to cry. And I'm going to. And I haven't cried yet. I've been trying to be so tough through all this and say, okay.
well, I mean, yeah,
I'm
last night I was
standing.
trying to be a little bit, stoic,
Night
but
we
like,
were
this morning, I'm
fine.
not gonna lie, I've been spending the whole day in like a fucking meltdown mode.
And
there-
I've just been trying to be
I acknowledge that the future is
tough.
grim, basically no matter what, but it's also not certain. The manner
right,
in which
right.
this goes down may yet surprise us. May I point out, for your dose of hopium, how much these people within their own group, such as DeSantis and Trump, effing hate each other, such as McConnell and Trump, such as Tucker Carlson and Trump. We might wind up seeing these folks infighting with these powers that they unlock. I think our goal right now is to tread water and stand by and hope that we survive.
Or take up the opportunity of the circular firing squad and get the fuck out, crawl under the fucking whatever and get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Preserve your
I mean,
citizenship
you
and get
can
the
say
fuck out.
this, right? Like that's a nice thing to say, but like, if I walk up to the border and like say, hey, like please help me, like what's the process like?
Oh,
Like
I
are there
thought it
people
was
out there
down.
that are gonna go ahead and like, help us out with that? Like I don't know. Like text on a screen looks pretty cool and all, but like, what's the detail? I'm not trying to single
Well,
anyone out, but
I
I'm
put
just-
it up there. Yeah, I think if there's a link, people should investigate that, but and maybe report back. But I put it up there because Trudeau isn't like the best. So in saying Canada, that's a lot like saying they. Like
Also,
who?
Canada's about to go right wing, but here's the deal: they're
Who
about
in
to have
Canada are we talking about?
Pierre Poilievre is about to be the far right extremist leader, prime minister. It looks like, but the good news is they have legislation built in to their basically the Canadian Constitution that gives LGBTQ plus people more rights than they have in America. So it is a safer place to go.
That's the
Or,
thing, though.
well,
It's like
we just
it's
passed
like we're
Prop
just. Are you
1.
going to be a 4th class citizen here? You're going to be a 7th class citizen there. You're going to be a 29th class citizen there, or are you going to be fucking rotated 90 degrees
No,
like this fucking guy, or
my
not
state
work on?
just passed it. Just passed the Prop 1, which everyone is in the law of New York. You can't be discriminated against for being
Oh,
any.
yeah, I'm sure that little proposition's gonna stop people from getting beaten up and fucking killed and knifed and thrown off a fucking bridge. And I'm sure that the fucking gangs of Clockwork Orange ass motherfuckers are gonna be like, "Whoa, wait a second, dudes. What about Proposition 1?" Like before they fucking decide to bust out a baseball bat and blow someone's kneecap through.
Okay, I can't say anything. I know
I
I'm
know.
not
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be
I'm
able
being
to,
negative
Andrew.
Nancy.
Why am
No,
I
it's
fucking
not.
sideways,
You
man? What the
have because
fuck?
you're on your laptop.
Oh my!
Just
I'm
rotate.
Did you
Just
get my
shift.
camera? Is my camera
you
at your room?
Oh.
Because my camera's already
There
doing
you
its
go.
bullshit. It's already doing the tracking shit. It's already fucking doing it. Ah. I'm not.
Andrea, every day takes figuring out all over again. It's nothing new. I know it's extreme case. This is seismic. It's forever changed. It's very freakish, scary. But you have to build like some sort of comfort enough to sleep, because without sleep, without proper nourishment, you know what
Oh,
happens. It only gets worse. So
You're gonna get sick. Do
you
you
can
Oh,
have?
yeah.
booze
I
it
mean,
up for a
and
day
do
or
you
two.
Well,
have
here's
you have
here's
a
a fun
network?
fact. I'm getting my Novavax vaccine tomorrow. So
All right. Well, then you don't
All
have to
right, there
worry
you
about
go.
that. Do you have a network of other people in your community that you can reach out to, like Nadia, who's here all the time? I mean, do you have some people to reach out to that
I have people. I
that
mean, yeah,
understand?
sure.
All
Like I have
right,
people
well,
to talk to, but I mean, as far as like any,
use them like the kids are using me. My daughter's friends are
okay,
using me, that are terrified. Use them. Use them. Make sure that people are on notice for you, because I'm sure you've been on notice for them.
This
yeah.
endless
I mean, that's the
well
other
of
thing too.
money.
Is like I just want to say, like for a lot of trans people, we don't have families. Like I don't have a mom. I don't have an extended family.
No, you
Like I
build
don't
one
talk
like
to
a
my fucking dad. Like I don't have a family of people. Like and not to throw Jake under the bus, but Jake was like, "Oh, I have a big family." Like, yeah, I'm jealous, bro. Like I don't
I
have a
don't
fucking
have a big
family. Like we don't have families.
I have a very
Like
small
we
family.
got like maybe 1 or 2 friends or whatever that we pick up along the way with, but that's pretty
Yeah.
much it.
Yeah, I get you. But you do have people that care, and I've already made an offer, and there are other. Just making sure. That's all.
Sure. I mean, I like no matter
You got
what,
my
I
phone
guarantee
number.
you, like I'll be fine.
Just
But
be
you
one of
know,
my kid. I'll just treat you like you're one of Dawn's other friends that hung out at my house all through
we'll
high
see.
school. Well,
If I need to.
I'm brokenhearted for a lot of things, and now this is finally hitting me. All day I've been tough. I went out to play with the horses. I've been, I'm going to plan and all this, and now you've just
It
turned me
comes
into
in
a
waves.
puddle of mush. I
Yeah.
don't want to cry
You
because
can if you want.
I do, but then my mascara. No, I just. God, I did so much crying over the last few years. I'm tired of crying and just. But I can't see how I can't.
The two
Because
things that make me feel better that I offer you both is helping others and plotting revenge. Mostly plotting revenge.
I love revenge.
It's
Specifically
good.
plotting
go to
revenge.
Greenland.
I love
Andrea.
plotting revenge. Now, this is one thing. I'm just gonna say this because I'm drunk. One of my favorite things about lucid dreaming as a concept is that you get to act out your revenge fantasies on all the people that wronged you, and you can do it with excruciating detail, and there's no consequences. So
Yeah.
if that doesn't inspire you to lucid dream, I mean, I don't know what else will.
Could you
How
turn that
nice-
into a video game? Because you are a creator.
I wish if I had the
How
time
nice
and
will it
energy.
be
Yeah.
to
I'll be
go
right back.
searching? All
I'll
right,
be
see
right
you,
back.
buddy. See you in a
No,
moment.
I'll yes, exactly. I'm
I
gonna
will
use-
also. I'll
be
take
right
this
back.
moment because I've been holding in a pee break. So, but
Go
I,
ahead.
okay.
How nice will it be to go out there gathering aka really just doing journalism on right-wing wackadoos, and not be picking them based on strategy, but just be picking them based on who we dislike the most. That will be fun. Putting Gates in embarrassing situations. Oh, I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
It's super sad.
I retweeted David Sirota and said these names to be on blast. He said every Dem operative and pundit who just got filthy rich off engineering the worst election loss in history last night should do us all a favor and just go away. You got your money. You now have generational wealth forever. Please leave the rest of us to suffer from your behavior. And I say, fuck that. I want to know. I like to weaponize my art sometimes and draw fucked up pictures of people without their clothes on.
just
doing
just
crazy
draw,
shit.
just get their names and faces and what they've done in front of people. If you can show what this person looks like, what their name is, and what their responsibility is for the effing of America, like their money stuffed with, or their pocket stuffed with money or something. I have a feeling that the general public will take it from there. That sounded a lot more ominous than I meant. I just mean, like, when they're on MSNBC or whatever, when they're paid to comment, people are going to be like, why the fuck are we talking to this guy?
They look at them like experts, man. They got like the whole George W. Bush administration on MSNBC now.
Yeah. I do think, sincerely, that old school media and Democrats both are collapsing quickly.
You think?
Yeah. I think they've been unsustainable for a while, and I think they are no longer being sustained.
Well, the only people that watch MSNBC are like 70 and plus.
Yeah.
Maybe a little younger, because some of my friends actually watch it and I don't.
And MSNBC is the most left-leaning, aka the most close to reality of all those networks.
Yeah.
But like nobody under 40 is like, I need to figure out what's going on in the world. Let me turn on a television. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's going to be how it's going to have to be in the future. Like, I'm thinking like pirate radio is going to be the way forward. Pirate TV. Like, we're going to have to be able to like fucking hack all this retro CRTs and fucking antenna televisions to be able to get pirate TV signals, because that's the only way we're going to be able to transmit information that's not censored or fucking controlled by the fucking people in charge.
Oh, I've actually been looking into this extensively. And there's a lot of fun ways you can be a pirate station these days.
Remember, Pump Up the Volume?
Pump it up.
Pump it up. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure I told Andrea to watch Pump Up the Volume like 10 years ago. Do you remember this? The Christian Slater movie?
No, but I'm gonna have a lot of movies to watch before it's all over. So I'll check it out.
Look, hey CJ, she's with us in the chat.
Christian Slater. Oh yeah, I was thinking of what is it? Gleaning the Cube? Is that it?
That was a good one. But I'm talking about Pump Up the Volume, where he's a pirate radio DJ.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where the lady puts a fork in the microwave as like a rebellious act?
This is kind of spoiler, but he convinces like the valedictorian to blow up her kitchen by putting a whole bunch of like a hair dryer and all kinds of shit in a microwave, and then she just sits there like smoking a cigarette, watching it, and it's like beep beep, and then she walks into the PTA meeting all blown up. It's fucking awesome.
And like proud of herself though. Yeah, it was a weird movie actually, now that I remember it.
Great. Yeah, and I'm sorry about that firearms pun. I was just aiming to be funny at some point.
No, don't be sorry.
Aiming. Look, Sandy's
We-
like, are there jokes tonight? I haven't heard any.
No, I was
God.
reading Alan saying we live in a trap of our own making. Soon
I didn't
we
even
will
get
be-
that one. No,
We
I-
will be
Was
reprogrammed
aiming
to not.
to
Oh,
be
okay.
funny.
Oh, aiming to be funny. Well, no, it's aiming.
Fired.
Aiming with a pistol. Wait, okay, and not know. Oh, we will be reprogrammed to not know it and be happy to turn in our neighbors, which is what the Gestapo did. And somebody said today, some bigger account on X said, you better get rid of all your right-wing people that are on your social media
Fuck
accounts
'em.
because the
Fuck them. I don't
Gestapo,
care if they're your
the
parents.
Gestapo
How
used to.
privileged you are to have parents in the first
No,
place.
they were
by the way, these
talking about
motherfuckers. The
friends.
right
That
wingers
the
get rid of them.
listen
Friends,
to me.
like I'm
They
sorry.
went to the door. They went door to door and asked neighbors to turn in people who were anti-government or had sentiment, anti-Nazi sentiment. I mean, this is the shit people are talking about because everybody is right now.
Anyone you know
freaking
who's
out
right
right
wing,
now.
if you've ever met someone who's right wing, they're going to be turning you in. If you're
My
friends
daughter's
from high
father,
school or
the
whatever,
moron.
they're going to turn you in. Like that's the thing. Like this whole tolerate of right wingers thing. Like it's we can't
I'm
do this.
telling
They're
you,
going to fucking kill us. They're going to turn us in immediately.
I don't know how this happened, but I'm about to be 50, and my reputation has never been more rock solid than it is right now. If
I wish
died
if I get to
standing
50,
up,
my God.
if I died standing up for my freedom as an American, that's pretty fucking perfect.
It's pretty cool. You know, it'll make you happy in your pre-death hallucination state where you think about how your death is going to change the world, but in reality, it's probably not.
No,
But it'll be pretty great though, because we die on a high note.
I'm put it this way: if I stay in New York one more night, I could do something that would ruin my entire reputation. I gotta get out of here.
Fair. You should skedaddle. Yeah, that city before it corrupts you.
Been a very good boy the past few nights.
Oh
You've
my
been a
God.
very
man.
Oh, hey,
good
look.
boy. You've been a very good boy. Hi, Sandy.
Oh,
We've been
Sandy.
talking about people coming down to
And
Canada
Veg.
all night.
If you want any new neighbors,
You know, there's a lot of people that are saying that to you, you know, offering you Canadian. If you can chop wood, you can go to Ernie's cabin up there, and he's a beautiful place.
I mean, like as
Check
far
out
as
his
like,
channel.
earnest, if you have like, let me just put this out there: if anyone genuinely could get me to Canada, hit me the fuck up. You know how to
Well,
find me.
You know, Lance on the Surfs, he put up a whole thing on resources.
I'm sure
and
that's great. I'm sure, and I'll
No,
look into it.
links,
But I mean,
links. Just look at
Yeah.
what he put up. Links for people for help. He put it up on
Okay.
there today. I saw it. I know I saw it. And he's I wonder if it's on his channel. Maybe
I'm
it's
not.
no, we
guaranteed-
got
I don't-
that
I'm not convinced
pinned
that
in
the
Jake's
systems
chat
are
right now.
going to be that easy to use. You know, I'm just saying. But also, Canada's a fucking.
well, the Underground
fucking-
Railroad worked at one time, and that was before there was ever even stinking social media, obviously, right?
What do you think
So-
the algorithm's going to be like going forward?
I have no idea.
I think we're going to see very little changes in the immediate future. For our actual lives, I think very little changes. I don't think that means big things aren't happening, but I think it will be a while before we end up actually seeing it.
Right.
I'm available for marriage. Wait, shotgun. That was
So
easy.
you don't need that 50 grand anymore.
Oh
She's
shit! I just
available
took
for
Andrea's
marriage.
ticket. Sorry, buddy. All right,
Damn.
you can marry her.
Well, I mean, I gotta, the rules of shotgun. You know,
Oh,
you got.
Looney, that's great. He posted it.
All right. We'll get a quick divorce, and then
Well, I'm not available for marriage. I will be spending the rest of my life alone, trying to avoid watching Donald Trump's ugly fucking face.
Look, I'm just
I can't
praying
believe
for,
it.
I'm just praying for that chunk of cholesterol to break free from the one artery and go right into the other. And
Oh, we could all be so lucky to see that on TV before we get
Or
thrown into the
We
fucking
could look at it this way. Maybe it really won't even you know, maybe will just be happy with their little right wing thing and kind of try to leave some.
I will say, we're
things alone.
assuming that he has plans to do anything for anybody.
Well, that's
And
Trump and
I'm
Trump
sure
for
he'll
that.
sign the most dastardly laws into power, into effect that you can imagine. Especially with the House and Senate, it is going to be a nightmare. But this
So
impression
we
of them
really-
as an active hunter of the people he said he hates,
Yeah,
I just don't see it.
I don't know.
I'm going to plan for it, but I have a feeling this guy is just going to be like, who pissed me off? Who do I personally hate?
Adam Schiff.
Pelosi,
He
Schiff.
hates Adam
Yeah.
Schiff. He
And that's what I
fucking
mean. I
hates
think
Adam
he's
Schiff.
gonna, his priorities are gonna be making his way down that list. I don't know though. I have no.
He'll be dead before he
just my
finishes
prediction.
that. He hates everyone. I read an article today. He was everybody he hates and everybody he wants retribution against. And that list is pages long because he's whacked. He's freaking whacked.
I have to get up early.
Okay.
Oh,
We don't have to
I'm
stay on
feeling
all
it a
night.
little bit.
Well, you guys have been on for a long time, and I wouldn't mind going to bed early. I'm in the same pajamas. Well,
I'm
I
down
got
to keep
shower.
going if anyone wants.
Yeah, and I'm
me up
sorry
in
about
Discord.
that gun joke. It was inappropriate. You probably deserve a better caliber of host,
You son
co-host.
of a bitch. Andrea, I'm gonna be in Discord. I'm not talking to Matt right now.
Look how Sandy's like, jokes? What jokes? I didn't hear any jokes.
Listen, sometimes my life is a joke.
Well, and it started out as like what sounded like a real story and turned into a joke. It was like preloaded. So that's just not fair of me to do.
I love you all.
Boom. Boom. Are you going? You going? Say goodnight.
I'm gonna flee this goddamn thing.
Well, I
You
think
guys are
maybe
amazing.
we could all go early. And
I'll see
Andrea,
if I
you
can look at
decide
Discord, but I don't
if
know. I
you
might go to
decide-
bed. I'm not sure.
bed, or if we all get off
hi to
this
me,
and you decide you want to go live on your channel, we'll all just follow you and I could lay in bed and watch. I mean, like if you didn't want to be without, you want to have your chat. That's all.
I
Not
don't know.
your target audience. That was good. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. What's the channel? It would be Andrea's channel, which is Looney. Are you in there? Andrea Rovensky. If she decided to do that, if we do,
This
get
is peer
off this.
pressure.
Oh, you don't
These-
have to. It's for your support because you wanted to stay.
Look at
Matt
this.
wants to go
maybe.
to bed, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to do a
The
marathon.
first 100 days are, and first of all, Nadia, thank you so much for all the super
Hi,
chats.
Bob
It's
Carr.
pretty
Hi,
impressive.
Bob.
The
Yeah,
first
she's very
100 days are
generous.
when presidents try and get their agendas off the ground. Most things delayed until after them are stopped by the opposing party.
We're not in the. We don't have
Well,
any of
what
the.
opposing party?
I
We don't
assume
have
that's not
one.
going to happen this time.
There's
yeah.
no party. There's no,
We'll see.
no party in the in. There's
Push
no
it
Green
right
Party.
through.
There's no other parties that are in control except the red.
We're
Which
gonna
I
get
not wear red.
we're gonna get subversive as hell. And
See,
Nadia,
she's saying it. I'll be
you're an
around
angel.
if you need me. There you go, Nadia.
Andrea, hit me up at Discord. Matt, you're amazing. Sandy, you're amazing.
Good night,
Andrea,
Jake,
you're also
sweetheart.
amazing.
Yeah, and I
Check this
mean,
out.
At the end of the day, can't take these guns.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God! Right? Well, I appreciate that there's been a lot of people tonight. I mean, all 30, whatever, but that's what makes it nice that it's not huge and so many people that we.
171 watching right now.
All right, total, which is nice because it's
Who's
intimate.
fucking
And
watching this garbage.
we
They're
know.
gonna fucking put us on a goddamn list. We shouldn't be fucking streaming this horse shit.
It's a little too late for that, but
Yeah, I wouldn't worry. All right, Kim. She said you're out eating and you're on with us. Oh, cool. Bob Carmody's in my chat. Hi, Bob. Bob
people were talking about him
he
at the
does-
show last night.
Yeah, he does good impressions.
That's what they were
Yeah.
saying because somebody
Yeah.
did an RFK Jr. impression and they were like, Bob Carmody could have done that.
Yeah,
It was good.
totally. Totally.
Yeah,
Guys.
radio.
All right, are we out? All
Yeah.
right, guys. I guess we are saying good night. Andrea, if you go live on your channel, I'll watch. If not,
I mean,
Nadia,
maybe, but
you know how to
don't
get
put
in
your hat
touch
on
with-
it.
do you know how to get in touch with Nadia?
Let's make sure when we do leave that we take stock, though, okay? That's another gun joke. By the way.
I thought you were referencing the increase in the percentage of the stock market over the last 36 hours.
Yeah, well, that's good.